And hello everybody, we are back with Elden Ring for our Katana run. This was kind of a last minute change. I was going to do hammers, but I kind of want to do another dex build. I haven't really done like a true dex run in this game. I did Colossal Swords and then I did the Twin Blades, which was kind of a mix between like dex, strength, and quality, and a few holy builds in there. So figured we'd go ahead and do katanas. This is probably the class that I have the most like experience in, which is kind of weird because I don't really consider myself like a katana user, but going through the list of katanas, I've used almost all of them in some form or fashion. But in general, I wouldn't really say I'm like a big katana fan. Like I generally prefer great swords and that kind of stuff, but we'll get started here. Obviously, we're going to be doing samurai as our starting class. You know, obviously katana, and then just golden seed for our keepsake, so we can get that going. Let's see if we can actually beat this tutorial boss real quick. Well, I guess tutorial boss might not be like the correct usage for that, but since you're like meant to die to it, I think like maybe once I've beaten it like in the actual start of the game. I mean, if any time I was gonna beat it, it would be while I'm using a katana. Man, I forget how much poise damage Unsheath does. I don't think I've ever got him to, like, phase 2. Maybe I haven't beaten him off rip. Oh, wow. Yeah. Katanas are busted. RIP. I took one hit because I was dumb. Cool. Well, I guess we'll need to do that in our straight sword run, because it drops a straight sword. Cool. Well, now we get to just die a different way, I guess. Wow, pretty butterflies. No. But anyway, with this run, we are going to have 10 total katanas to use. And I think I've used pretty much all but like 2 of them. I think the only 2 I haven't really used are the meteoric one and the serpent bone blade, because I don't really do poison builds all that much. But just going through the list, I was like, yeah, I think I've used like 2 or 3 of them maybe. But I mean, like Uchi Katana, that's this one, the Uchi Katana. Nagakiba, Moonveil, Rivers of Blood, Dragon Scale, Hand of Malenia, like I've kind of gone through the list. Now, as you saw from that first fight we did against the like mandatory death boss, the Unsheath skill is just completely unhinged. It only got better with the DLC with the Rennala's cameo talisman that increases that kind of damage from stance-based skills, which that is. This is taking a stance right here. It's just insane. It does okay damage, but you're really using it for the poise, and its poise is insane. So, like, I bet I can cripple this guy in 1 hit with it. Or just straight up kill him. That also works. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it does more than a charged heavy attack. That is wild. And charged heavy's already decently fast with katanas. I guess we should probably do a proper move set. I'm not really used to starting a run with one of these weapons already, but we are going to grab the second one of these because there's another one in the world. Since this one's a starting weapon, obviously they need a way for you to get it if you didn't just start with this katana. Hello, wife. I cannot talk to you right now. I'm making a YouTube video. I'm gonna need you to go away. Oh yeah, I guess we have like over 3k souls just from doing that tutorial boss. That's cool. I think we'll go ahead and do the showcase once I get the second Uchi, which is pretty close. It's just up here, I believe. All right, it should be here in this catacomb right over here in the starting area, so you still get it pretty fast. I'm not sure if I've ever done this catacomb in my life, but it's like immediately at the start of the game, so it cannot be that hard. I still have flashbacks to that catacomb where we got the Watchdog Great Sword in our Colossal Sword run. That shit was diabolical. 1 charged heavy can stagger. Granted, it's literally just a pile of bones. So like I get that. I just forget how strong katanas are. That is pretty dang strong. Now for one of the next katanas, it is the Nagakiba, which we get from doing a quest, or we can kill the guy early and get it earlier. But I think I'm gonna let the quest go because I think we can actually get quite a few katanas early on, and we're not really gonna be starving for them. And it's not like there's a ton of katanas in this game anyway, so we'll have more than enough opportunities to actually use them. It's not like we're gonna run out of bosses before we get them all or anything. And this is going to be the first run that we do where we actually fight Metyr, because I have not been doing that, but we do need to do that quest to go ahead and get the Sword of Knight katana, which I really enjoy. So we'll need to be doing that. I really like both of the DLC katanas they added. It's going to be weird looking at the Starline sword, like, critically, because I loved using it. It's definitely one of the most stylish weapons in the game, but I don't know how it's going to hold up, like, critically speaking, with something like Moonveil, you know, because it's kind of meant to be Moonveil but the DLC version, and it's just a little flashier. But I don't know if it's one of those like Savage Lion's Claw, you know, where it's not as good as the actual Lion's Claw, or if it's going to be like that Frost Stomp that is better than the like base game Frost Stomp. I don't know. It could go either way. How many gosh darn skeletons are in this room? And you never came to life. Why is that? Oh, well, looky there. There they go. I was bamboozled. I think it's up there, but I'm not entirely sure how to get there, unless there's some trickery with an illusionary wall. Or maybe it's through here. Oh, yeah, that would be it. I'm gonna run out of heals. I'm playing this, like, super carelessly, and I forget that it's, like, the first 2 seconds of the game where I don't have, like, a million HP yet. The amount of time that I spend in this game below 30 vigor is, like, maybe 10 minutes. Yeah, there we go. Uchi Katana. We'll go ahead and do the showcase for these weapons then. Go ahead and hit up that side of grace. So we might as well do the boss here, why not? Probably gonna have some like absolute dog shit spirit summon, but we'll go for it. So I'll go ahead and hit you with the cold water right away. This weapon just gets straight up replaced by the Nagakiba later. So I think to get this weapon to stand out, we're just gonna basically use it dual wielding with itself, just to get, by God, something out of it. Because obviously it's not bad. Like, I just, you know, I beat the boss you're supposed to die with. Like, it's not bad at all, but definitely just kind of gets replaced. So let's start with one-handed moveset. We have our light attack chain. Very speedy and very flow-like. Kind of into that. And then we have our tap heavies, which starts off with a poke, which is Chef's Kiss, if you've ever seen my shit before. Love the poke. It's very fast, too, for a heavy attack. The follow-up's kind of slow. And then we have Charged Heavy. Big poke, and then Big Slash. Okay. And then Rolling Attack Light. Big Attack Heavy. If that's any different. Nope. Okay. Two-hand. We have our normal light attack chain. All right. And then we have our Tap Heavy. Okay, and then our Charged Heavy. Interesting. Okay, so unless this dodging attack... No. Okay, so it seems like the only way to get a poke out of this weapon is by one-handing a heavy attack. So that does give you actual reason to do this one-handed. Now, let's get two. Boom. Now I got two of these bitches, which also means naturally you can just do the poke heavy attack whenever you want, because, you know, you're not two-handing it. So you can get that poke in. In terms of its unique dual wielding, we got our light attack combo. Now, it should be noted, that's one button press for those two hits. So just one hit, you swing twice. So one tap equals two swings, except that last one where you do both at the same time. And then your jumping attack with both of them, and obviously Unsheath is just going to be the same. You're just going to use the weapon in your right hand there. Yeah, that is it. Let's go ahead and test it on this boss. Black Knife Assassin. Okay. How much damage? Were you already hurt? Because there's no way I just did that much damage to you. Yeah, no, okay. She must have already been hurt. Okay. For like lore reasons or something. There we go. Very agile. Assassin's Crimson Dagger. Okay. What is this? Oh, Deathroot. Okay, interesting. So you have to come here for that side quest. Well, we have the weapons we're going to use, so I guess from here, I'm just going to go through my regular route, collect all of the Sacred Tears, Golden Seeds, probably charge Talisman, because why not, and just go through my normal route, and I'll just see when all that's collected. As I finish up here, grinding the Rune Dragon, as is, you know, the standard for a Elden Ring run, I will mention that these also do bleed build up. It's pretty common knowledge, but just in case you didn't know, they do indeed do bleed damage. I don't think all katanas do, but like most of them do. And after this, I'm just gonna go and get the smithing stones from the cave so we can level both of them. I got Bloody Slash, I got the Unsheath Ash of War, just so we can infuse it later if we want. They really give you all the tools to succeed in Limgrave. I mean, they give you more than enough to get these things going. And after we get all this, we're just gonna go and beat the shit out of Margit. He is not gonna know what hit him. That's the amount of HP I like to have in Limgrave right there. That's also why I can never play like an actual true full mage build in this game. I cannot have under at least 40 vigor, like at any given time. I usually go 60, but like the absolute lowest I will go is 40, and even then I'll struggle. I cannot do low HP runs in this game at all. And we'll probably have to do Millicent's Quest as well, just for that successive attack bonus type deal. And when we have to go do Malenia anyway, for the katana. I mean, obviously we're gonna do Malenia either way, because it's a boss, but I don't know. I think I used Malenia's katana once, because I did like a full Malenia build, where I used like her armor set and like her weapon and whatnot. It's actually the character I deleted to make room for this character, because you can only have 10 save files at once, which is stupid. I mean, I know I could technically just go to like the save file folder and just move all my characters to a different folder, so I can just like swap them in and out. I don't know. I just wish they let you have more than the very few that they let you have. Like, I've easily done over 100 playthroughs of this game. Like, I need more than the 10 that they allow me to have at any given point. Alright, let's see how we fare against just this random troll down here. I don't think we got enough smithing stones. Yeah, we only got 13, which would be more than enough usually for one weapon, but we're leveling 2, so not great. However, we did just completely annihilate this thing, so that's pretty neat. Hit him with an Unsheath, it does a stupid amount of damage. Hit him with one more Unsheath, which will then cripple him. And then he dies. This is the katana, ladies and gentlemen. Completely unupgraded, by the way. Good God. I know a lot of people bitch about katanas being overpowered, or if not overpowered, just overused. Like, it's very much the weapon I think of when I think of this game. You know what I mean? Like, when you think like early Elden Ring, you probably think of like Rivers of Blood, because that weapon was everywhere in early patches. And then Moonveil is like kind of the meme one, where it's like a kind of boring weapon, but it's just so good that people use it anyway. Or that's at least what I've been told. Or not told, but that's just what I've personally seen, is just like the Moonveil meme, like how it's everywhere, and it's like, why use anything else or whatever. And I think my last katana run I dual-wielded Moonveil with the Starlined. Alright, well, we got both of them to a +2, so that'll have to be enough for Margit. And we do have access to some other katanas right now, but I'm not going to bother getting them until a little bit later. I mean, there's just no point. Might as well spread them out. I should mention now before I forget, but for mods that I am using in this run, it is the same as always, so you can skip for the next, few seconds as I discuss these if you've been here before. But I am using the Torrent speed up mod, so Torrent's moving at like 1.5 times speed. As you can see, he'd be lightning fast. That is solely just for my own sake. That doesn't really make the game easier or anything. He just moves faster so I can get places faster. It saves a surprising amount of time with recording. And then the other mod, which is a pretty big mod, is the Great Rune Overhaul mod. If you have not heard of it, it basically completely redoes how Great Runes work in this game. Instead of putting one on your little square in the top left there and then using a rune arc to get the abilities, what it does is they all stack with each other like passives, but they're less strong strong than they would be. So instead of me getting Godrick's Great Rune, which would get a +5 to all my stats, then I'd activate it with the Rune Arc. Instead, I just have it permanently without using a Rune Arc, but it only gives like a +1 to all my stats. And then all of the Great Runes stack just like that. So I get all the effects at once, and I like it because it makes the game feel like a Metroidvania kind of, where I'm like powering up my character with permanent abilities. And I just dislike how the Great Rune system works in this game. I think Rune Arcs are way too rare of items, and I don't want to have to sit there and grind rats for 2 hours to have enough Rune Arcs for the rest of the run. That's just not fun, so I fixed it with the mod. Anyway, Margit time. Decent damage. Definitely seen worse as I get hit with every single attack he does. Watch this. That's why I level Vigor, baby. I'd be dead 2 times over. Surprised I haven't gotten a bleed proc yet. I'm using 2 of these. How is he not staggered yet either? I hit him with like 3 unsheaths. There we go. What the hell? There's the big bleed proc. That's what we were looking for. Margit, yay! It's so weird to think about when I was a young lad playing this game for the first time, how much I struggled on Margit compared to like how brain dead it is now. I just sat there and tanked every single hit and didn't even care about dodging that entire time, and I still just beat him, and it wasn't even close. Like my first time, I had like my little spirit ashes, I had that summon at the front, like I had everything going for me, and I had the Margit shackle. I was just absolutely incapable of winning that fight. And then just fast forward to now, where I can pretty consistently first try Consort Radahn, as long as I'm not like absolutely throwing. Last time we beat Consort Radahn first try with the just normal twin blade, and it wasn't even maxed out, and I wasn't at max Scadutree level either. Just the kind of stuff you get with just improvement on a base level. And we'll go ahead and take down Godrick, and then probably grab our second katana of the run. Probably Moonveil or the Meteoric. So I guess if we somehow manage to die, I forgot to start the side quest for the Nagakiba. I don't know like what time you have to start doing that to do it correctly. Doesn't it just feel like you have so much more stamina in this game compared to Dark Souls like 2 and 3? And I guess 1, but mostly 2 and 3 I notice it. Crazy that they gave one of the best soundtracks in the game to fucking Godrick the Grafted. Such a nothing burger character in lore. Like, this dude's entire lore is that he's weak, and they're like, yeah, give him the hardest music in the game. I think that was a bleed proc there as well, yeah. I'm actually out of Unsheath. I think I've done it in a New Game Plus run, but I want to do another fight with this guy where I skip his second phase because I kill him so fast. The way I play these games, I don't usually get a chance to because I always fight Godrick. I don't like go around the castle. All right, we'll go ahead and hit up this little site of grace, then we'll go around, try to start that side quest with the katana and all that. Oh, and get the Great Rune. We should do that as well before I forget. I always forget to get Godrick's Great Rune. I have no idea why. Actually, let's do that now before I do forget. Then I'll see you whenever I get like the new katana and whatnot. Yeah, so this is the guy. We could just kill him right here and then take the katana off of him. And his katana, from the ones I've used, is probably one of the better ones. I know it is the longest in the game, even outlengthening Malenia's katana, which I think is kind of lame, to be honest. I think Malenia should have the longest. Her katana's already kind of underwhelming to begin with, but I guess that's it. We'll see later. Go ahead and kill this dragon. This isn't a required step or anything, but I just like to do it. Probably just go ahead and kill him like this instead of going for that punish window. R.I.P. Dragon. Go talk to our man, see if he's impressed. Technically, most of this guy's quest is optional. I didn't even know about this first part until, you know, like, well, a long time later. We'll go ahead and do the second part where we get invaded. What are they protecting here? I don't think I've ever gotten this item. Man, if you could, like, not spew endless amounts of poison, that'd be super cool. all of that for a leaf, bro. That's crazy. I really hope the next big FromSoft game, and I'm not even talking about Duskbloods, I'm talking about like the next like real FromSoft game, like full PvE massive world kind of thing. I don't know if it would be like Elden Ring 2 or Dark Souls 4 or whatever it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like their next actual game. I really hope they can overhaul crafting in a way that feels good, because it's just this kind of tacked on feeling thing. I don't know if that's just me, but like I never really found it engaging at all, and I never use any like crafting item. Like, I don't use it because I think it's cheap or something, but it just feels weird. And I think it really hurts the loot pool of these games. Like, in the other games, you would find, like, actual useful stuff on the ground pretty consistently. Unless it was, like, rubbish, which were used as, like, bait, so you'd get ambushed. But it's just, like, think about how many more smithing stones you could find in loot pools instead of, like, cookbooks and shit like that. All right, let's go ahead and hit up this little cave here. I believe that is where we are going to find our next blade, the Meteoric Ore Blade. There is not, even in the DLC, there is not a single holy scaling katana, which kind of blows my mind. Like, what? Like, we have a poison katana and we don't even have a holy one? Like, why? What did holy do to these people? And it's not even like the poison one's not even a scarlet rot katana. It's just a normal, like, poison one, which is bad. Well, I haven't used it, but I only haven't used it because I just assumed it's bad. I don't know, maybe it'll blow me away in this run. We'll see. I've just never really found a use for, like, poison builds. Like, you get all this stuff together for it, you make this build, and the whole build is you just hit them enough to like proc your status effect, and then you just run away and then let poison tick damage their health away, which feels like really lame to me. Like, I don't really get how that's like an engaging play style at all. I haven't done this cave in a long time, but this I believe is where Moonveil is. I find it weird that you can just kind of skip the boss in this cave. Like, there's just like a door with Alexander just chilling here, and you can just walk past the boss and just leave. I think it's one of those. Oh, I hate those guys. I also have 2 slash weapons, so I'm not going to be doing any damage to it anyway. Is there a way that Moonveil's just over here? Do I have to fight it? It probably is guarding Moonveil too. That sucks. Boo. I hate fighting those things. That might be like my least favorite kind of enemy. I just hate these guys' hitbox. They're so stupid. Assuming that's oh wait, no, it's the Magnum Worm. Never mind. I thought it was those like stone or like rhino looking things. I mean, granted, I'm not a huge fan of these guys either, but I will actually take this over the Falling Star Beasts. Except I also do no damage, which is kind of an issue. Okay. Oh, bleed proc? Okay. I just don't like that move where he just gets to run and charge at you and you just can't get near him, or his like weird lingering hitbox gets you. Very strange. Not a huge fan. There we go. That Unsheath, man, that is brutal. These are both at a +2 and they're uninfused with anything. They're pretty just cookie cutter Uchi katanas. And it still blows my mind about how much damage Unsheath does. I always forget that it also does good damage and not just like the poise damage that you would use it for. It's such a silly Ash. It's just nuts that they give it to you as like the starting Ash on this weapon, and also give it to you as one of the earliest scarabs you can find. There it is, Moonveil. We're not going to use this one for a hot minute, just because it is an intelligence scaling one, and I want to get some of the dex ones out of the way. Yeah, we can't even use it, but it is primarily int scaling. It also does bleed buildup, which is kind of silly, and does do split damage with magic, which, as you know, with me, not good. I don't like that. Not a fan. I don't like split damage with elemental stuff, and if it has to be one of those, it needs to not be magic, because very few bosses are weak to magic. I know a lot of mobs are, but you're not struggling with mobs. It's a Souls game, you know, and after you get this, what area are you going to? The magic area, which means your brand new weapon's already going to be kind of meh. But we can also go ahead and grab that other one while we're in the region. All right, I believe the other katana should just be here in these ruins somewhere, as long as I can find the staircase down. Well, I got bad news. Apparently, I can't find the staircase. Oh, there it is. Excuse me, pardon me. I'm sure all you guys are lovely individuals, but I will take this. Thank you. And I think this is also an intelligence one. Yes, it is. And these are both, I believe, going to be somber weapons. So you will need the somber smithing stones as opposed to the normal smithing stones. It also seems that the bleed buildup is better on these weapons because these are at a +2 and it's only 45, and these are a +0 and they're 50. So that does seem to be a little bit better. It's also interesting seeing that the meteoric ore does have quite a bit more damage than the Moon Veil, although I hear nothing about this weapon. This is easily the katana I've seen the least I don't know if it's bad or just forgettable or what's up, but I hear nothing about this weapon. And since it has lower requirements to use, we'll be definitely be using that first when I do level intelligence, but it is still pretty low. I only have 10, and this requires 23, so it will be a hot minute. I mean, we've only killed one remembrance. It's not like we're gonna run out of bosses, but it is something I want to keep a lookout for. But I guess I'll do my cleanup round 2, where I just go collect all the sacred tears and hit up all the sites of grace, get the key for the academy, just all that. Just see you when that's done. We're probably gonna have to make good use of our poking attacks against these kind of rock-based bosses. Kind of the Achilles heel of slash weapons, which is why I feel like slash damage is like the worst kind of damage. Because like, look at that, like literally 5 damage. That's crazy. Like non-existent damage from this thing. And it's not the weapon's fault, it's just the damage type it's stuck with. There we go. That's gonna be better once we break the rock. Yeah, it's like slash damage gets hard countered by these like rock kind of enemies, but there's not really an equivalent for pierce and strike damage that I'm aware of. I don't really think there's an enemy that like completely walls like pierce damage like that. Just in general, you kind of want to just be using those types of weapons, but all of my favorite weapons just happen to be slash weapons. And I just think the majority of weapons do slash damage, you know, like daggers, straight swords, great swords, like that kind of deal. Any sort of dex weapon 99% of the time is slash damage. And we are gonna make sure to do the quest to go to the manor early just so we can get those out of the way, because we do get a katana from doing, I think, the second invasion quest for the manor. I haven't really decided what ending I'm gonna go for yet. I kind of wanted to do the one with like the deathbed companion, but I feel like that would be way more suiting for like a scythe run. So I think I'm gonna save that. But all the other ones are kind of like inconvenient to do because we've done Ronnie's ending and we've done just like the default ending. So I gotta find something quirky. It's a little too late for a madness ending. I feel like that doesn't really fit katanas as well. But we'll go ahead and do the next part of the quest line for the Nagakiba. I think this is like the second to last step or something, assuming I haven't missed any other steps. It would feel kind of mean to do a dung eater ending. It seems kind of unlike this build. Like, I don't know what build would, but I don't think it's this one. God, this area is so pretty. This game's just so pretty. I'm kind of surprised that this quest line doesn't have like a happy ending for this guy. Well, not in the way where it's like, well, how come there can't be any happy endings in these games? I just mean like, I feel like there should be a way to like successfully do the quest. It doesn't feel like one of those that are just supposed to be a bummer. Like, it almost feels like you're messing something up in the quest line and getting the bad ending when there's nothing you could have done. What if instead of him dying to the invasion later, that you can like help him to like win the fight? It just feels more natural. Like, you can still have the bad ending, but maybe have an ending where he gets to go. Or even maybe one where you successfully do the invasion and you kill his beloved that he ends up dying to. But then he's like mad at you for doing it, even though like he had to, and then he like kills you for it anyway. Or tries to kill you and then you have to kill him. I actually managed to not die to Vike last time. Let's see if we can like hold up that standard. First heal. All right, he's out of heals. Ooh, that was a really bad time to get hit. Unsheath isn't necessarily the best for NPCs. The whole point is just like breaking poise, which isn't really what you're doing with NPC fights. Yep. There we go. Nice. I don't really want to do the quest where I like go to Mohg's palace early and do the grind spot, because like I need to so I can get my intelligence up, but I don't want to ruin my character's eyes. I have like very shiny pale blue eyes on this character I really like. I don't want to ruin it. I have to like power level somewhere else. I already killed the dragon and I put it all towards HP, which I do not regret. That's what I always do, but it is kind of a shame. I'll have to grind the old-fashioned way. I'm kind of surprised there wasn't like a new grind spot in the DLC, since like the, you know, like the difficulty curved so much. You would think there'd be enemies that drop like a shit ton of runes. I just don't really know of one. Well, I suppose we can just do the magic area now once we like go to Volcano and like at least start that quest, because we wouldn't be able to use the intelligence scaling stuff in the Magic Academy either way, because they would just all resist it because it's all magic. You know, so we might as well just do all that. I think I am ready, though, for the next FromSoft game to come out. It's been a good few years since Elden Ring came out in, like, 2022. I know it's going to be a hot minute before we get it, because we still have Duskbloods, and Night Rain, I'm sure, took some development away from, you know, like, the next actual FromSoft game. I don't even care what it is. I just want it to be good. Though I am curious, for an Elden Ring 2, since FromSoft got bought out, or, like with the parent company and all that, they got bought out by that Chinese company, and they have already tried to completely ruin FromSoft. They try to fire the CEO for not being as money hungry as they want. They said they didn't properly capitalize off Elden Ring's success with microtransactions and all that. I wonder if we even will get another amazing FromSoft game, or if that buyout is just going to completely run this company into the ground, as is what happens with companies like that. But I wonder with a potential Elden Ring 2, where would it take place? Because in the Dark Souls games, it was all different locations, except for 3, which kind of had a mix between old and new, just because of the nature of the story in that game. But like, would Elden Ring 2 be more akin to like, I don't know, Tears of the Kingdom, where it's like the same world, but it's altered? Like, I'm just very curious of what that would even look like as a game, because we kind of explore all of the lands between. To my knowledge, at least, there's not really anything else here. We've kind of seen it all. Like the map, I mean, I don't have it all, but it's clearly like the continent slash island here is like fully explored. Unless it's like a time jump from before or after this game takes place. Because from what I understand, time travel isn't really like a big thing in Elden Ring like it is with the Souls games. Like there's Farum Azula, which is stuck in like a time vortex, but that feels a little different. Although there are worse games to be like the last big release than Elden Ring, you know? It could have been like ended on a whimper, I suppose. I mean, obviously I don't hope it's the end, but my optimism declines with each passing day. I think unfortunately I'm very much a pessimist when it comes to this kind of thing. Like I've seen it just happen too many times. Company gets bought out by big company, ruins studio, and then shuts it down, you know? Cough, cough, Microsoft, cough, cough. Like rarely ever, I can't even think of an example where a company buyout happened by like a mega corporation and it turned things better. Like I literally can't think of one. What company got bought out by like a giant multi-billion-dollar company and started making better games? Like short term, I can only think of like Guitar Hero, I guess. Like after Guitar Hero 2, they got bought out by like Activision and then made Guitar Hero 3, which was like the biggest Guitar Hero game that ever came out. But then they milked the franchise to death and killed it. And we haven't had a Guitar Hero since then. So like, I don't get it, man. Anyway, no. And there we are. We get the Nagakiba. Oh no, it's her. I have a feeling she's about to whoop my ass too. Man, could you stop dodging, please? Good God. That just shouldn't do that much damage instantly. Oh, like what do I do? What's the counter to that? She just screams and does half my health. Oh, there goes the heal. This is the longest NPC fight of my life. These are at like +5 right now. Why is it taking so long? There we go. Well, rest easy, friend. I killed your wife. Hope you're cool with that. All right, the Nagakiba. As you can see, it is like almost twice as long as this one. And this one is already kind of one of the longer katanas as well. Like that, it almost looks stupid holding it. Like, it's so silly. Yeah, very cool. In this Asha War, I think it's probably worse than Unsheath, just because of like the poison damage potential. But having access to pierce damage on a whim is really good. Although you do have your R2 being a poke, which is incredible. So I'll probably take it off and put Unsheath on it anyway. But it is an option. If nothing else, you could just put it on a different katana that doesn't have pierce damage at such like a convenient level. But for moveset, we got our one hand. I think that there almost showcases why katanas are considered so busted. The length of this weapon combined with the bleed buildup that it just has, compared with the bleed buildup, the length, the damage, there's not a single aspect that's lacking. Like, there's no trade-off with this weapon. You just get the length of like an ultra great sword. You get the attack speed of like a straight sword. You get the bleed buildup of a dagger. Like, it's a monster. All right, then uncharged heavy is just that quick poke with a follow-up quick poke, and then uncharged, or sorry, the charged is just a stronger poke. Falling attack is a big slash. Then two-handed. Got your standard stuff there. Charged heavy, it's gonna be the pokes. And then obviously uncharged heavy is just going to be a faster poke. Rolling R1, still that big slash. Very solid, extremely solid even. And then of course, he actually has an ash fused onto this weapon that isn't natively on it. You can see it is infused there, and it is that piercing feign that I showed earlier. So, very solid. For a weapon like this, even though I'll probably swap it out for Unsheath, having a weapon that has this length have that kind of poke in a step forward motion like that is very strong. We'll go ahead and go to the Academy with this, I think. It's a shame we can't get two of these in a playthrough, because dual wielding these have got to be one of the best weapons in the game. Like, actually, it's got to be busted. Figured I might as well knock out some kind of side bosses, get some more use out of these weapons while I like get the runes required to buy the smithing stones to upgrade the Nagakiba a little bit. We'll see how it does against some stony boys here. This would be a really good one for the Nagakiba though, because that poke ash, but I don't have it leveled at all, so I'll have to do this the slow way, which is still deeply effective because it's a katana and it can just do everything you want. I know I just said that, but it is weird how these are basically the jack of all trade weapons, and how they're just not even a jack of all trades, because they're just good at everything. They don't have like a point where they're weak, you know? The only thing holding them back at all is that it's just slash damage, which is like one of the less useful damage types in the game. But it's also the most common, so it's not like it's a katana problem. And even then, you still have access to poke attacks like on the Nagakiba, so there's that. Like, aside from my personal preference in like style in the way that I play these games, there's not really a reason to use like a greatsword over a katana. Because like the thing that greatsword has is it's like its speed and poise damage, where it's just slightly on the slower side, but for the poison damage you're getting in return is really good. But with a katana, just use Unsheath. Like, Unsheath just wins. Like, oh, what's that? A weapon that does low poise? Okay, here's an ash that does all of the poise. Like, cool. Oh yeah, and they're one of the most common weapons to dual wield as well. They're infusible and do bleed damage. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, what isn't there to like about a katana? I think I'd still prefer twin blades, just stylistically, I think they're cooler. I'm just not a big katana guy. Just like in general for style, I preferred the more brutish feeling like great swords. It really is a shame that there's not any like faith scaling katanas, because I really want to go and get like Golden Vow and get like Blood Flame Blade incant to like infuse these bad boys with, but it's just not very practical. You can see the damage on this new Nagakiba. This is a +6 right now, and I still have Piercing Fang on. Let's try that. Or not. I'll just get hit. That's okay. Oh my god, that range is gross, man. I wasn't even close to him. I thought I whiffed that for sure. Let's try it again. Or not. He'll just summon meteors. That's cool. I wouldn't be surprised if you put, like, Lion's Claw on this. This shit is busted. Like, I'm getting really close to him, but I forget. I don't need to be that close. That's just gonna hurt me every time. I do not know how to dodge that. Why is this guy so annoying? Why? Stop summoning shit and just fight me. What are you doing? He has never done this before. I love that the charged is like a double poke. Surprised that didn't hit. I'm also surprised I haven't staggered him yet. That's just the not having unsheathed experience right there. Yeah. Yeah, when he stopped spamming spells at me, it was pretty cool. But yeah, this weapon's dumb. It's a certified dumb weapon. I'm gonna find something to infuse it with and just absolutely break the game. I might actually buy a crafting kit so I can go and do some of that. Actually use some crafting for a change. We should also probably be leveling intelligence. That would be the smart thing to do. And there we are, Serpent Bone Blade. And this is also a dex scaling katana, so that is cool. We're not really going to be using it yet, but I will go ahead and show it off. Here it is. It looks really cool, actually. Little length comparison. Obviously not going to be as big as the Nagakiba. Let's see how it pairs to the Uchi katana. It is longer than the Uchi, so that's pretty good. Like not enough to mean like a whole lot, but it is a little bit bigger. And for our one-handed move set, pretty standard stuff. The heavy attack is different though. It has that double slash, which is going to be good for proccing those statuses that you really want to have on a poison weapon. And then that heavy one, which I wish that came out a little bit faster. I'm not going to lie, that's pretty slow. You're really just going to be using that tap heavy, and rolling light is the same as always. The rolling heavy might honestly be pretty good, but then your two-handed moveset, similar. Tap heavy, and charged heavy. And then your Ash of War is double slash. So there's that. Let's go ahead and test this. This is unupgraded, so it shouldn't one-shot these guys. I just want to see that poison build up here. Oh, there's the poison. And there they go. I figured we'd still use the Nagakiba for Rennala, just because the poison aspect isn't really going to help that much. I don't know if she even takes poison damage when she's in her, like, little bubble thing in the air. I'm not sure, but either way, I'd rather just kill her with DPS, as, you know, you usually would. Now, our damage is really good. It's just not going to look as stupid as last time, because we always waited, like, way longer than you're supposed to be here. I mean, that's still insane damage, though. Yeah, pretty good. Not even pretty good, like way above average. I have a sinking feeling that this weapon is going to be extremely hard to beat. I can only imagine what it's like dual wielding these guys, because I don't do New Game Plus runs. I've done like one in this game. Like, just look at the range on these guys. Like, obviously I wouldn't struggle against these trash mobs anyway, but like, look how far I am from them, and I'm still hitting. Like this guy right here. Like, look at that. Look how safe this is. And this also has better scaling and stuff than the Uchi Katana. Hopefully this goes smoothly. This is one of the more difficult NPC fights. Yeah, that's why. I hate NPCs that can parry you, because it's like, what's even the counterplay to that? Like, they're an NPC, they have perfect timing. Hopefully I can just kill him before he can get back up. And there goes the heal. Tries to heal again. And I get hit by a giant boulder. And I'm dead. Love NPC fights. I think aside from like one time, or I think 2 times, I've had my first death to an NPC. Always the worst fights in these games. I think the worst fight in any Souls game ever is the Gang Squad from DS2 in the DLC. You fight those 3 people in the room. I think it's worse than Bed of Chaos. At least Bed of Chaos is fast, and there's multiple different cheeses to get through it easily. There's just nothing you can do with the Gang Squad. There's no way you can parry that Ash, bro. Really? Can you put away the shield? There's no counter to it. You just parry all my moves. Thank you. Okay. And there goes the shield again. I don't think you can parry a jump attack, can you? Do I just have to spam jump attacks? There we go. Just needed that blood proc to happen. Let it be known that even the mighty Nagakiba is no match for some cheesy-ass NPC fight that can just parry every attack that you do and kill you. There's no match. Alright, let's see how we do against good old Rennala. We don't quite one-shot all of her students here. Let's see how this goes. Definitely not as big a damage as we've been seeing before, but that's to be expected. We are doing this much earlier than we have been, which means this this fight is not going to be free for the first time that we've seen so far. I feel like they did some alterations to this fight, because I seem to remember a lot more of the students being out here. Like, a lot of them are in this inner circle area, which is a lot more convenient. I'm also not using my Piercing Fang, just so I can save it for, so I can save it for phase 2. There we go. Already broke that stagger there. Probably gonna summon now. Oh, okay. Infinite range. Man, that is brutal. Wow, she never summoned. I mean, we didn't kill her as fast as the some of the other runs, but I feel like that was one of the cleaner runs, though. Because last time we took a lot of damage, but we killed her really fast. That time we just kind of curb stomped her. Awesome. Well, now we can respec whenever we want. I might wait to do int. Well, the problem is like, for a lot of the weapons, it's either like you want as much dex as possible, and then the others are like you want a little bit of dex, but then mostly int. So it's like you want a good mix between the two, which isn't really convenient for stat spread. Yeah, that is 2 bosses and 2 weapons down. I'll probably go and level, yeah, I'll probably go and level the Serpent Bone Blade now. We can use that. I think for sake of the OG experience, we'll use it on the Draconic Sentinel outside here of Lindell, just as the people of yesteryear did whenever people wanted to skip that using Poison Mist. Well, okay, never mind. It takes normal smithing stones, but you can't put your own Ash of War on it. Why? Why would you make this the worst of both worlds? Why would you lock an Ash to it like a somber weapon, but not have the benefit of super easy upgrades like a somber weapon? So like you can't even like infuse it. That's so stupid. That's like unbelievably stupid. What? I feel like that alone has to knock this weapon down. Just for like the meta factor of it has the worst like upgrade style of anything ever. Like what? Like why would you do that? That's so dumb. Like whatever, I guess. I'll just have to go farm money so I can go buy upgrade materials. Love that for me. While I'm out just like getting all the free runes I can think of just killing these random like side bosses here, I got to thinking, what really is the point of poisoning enemies like this? Because I looked at the list, there's like no bosses that you can like poison. Like the only like notable one I could really find is like the first phase of Maliketh and then like Godskin Duo. And like if you're statusing Godskin, you're using sleep, you're not using poison. And if you're statusing a poison at all, it's not poison, it's Scarlet Rot. So like what's the point here? So really the only use case poison has is like non-boss enemies. But why are you poisoning a non-boss enemy? You're gonna get no value out of that because they don't have the health bar to poison. Non-boss enemies you're killing in just a couple swings, especially the later game you get. I'm struggling to understand what the point of poison is as a status, aside from like multiplayer, I guess. Like PvP, I guess I can kind of see it, but I don't know. Like why not just use like a big bonk weapon in one shot running R1 people? Like I don't quite understand that. Because if you poison like one of these guys, it's like cool. Like you could have just killed them in that time though. I don't get it. The only other bosses that I think I'm going to be able to really use it on is Commander Niall and Niall. so that will be something, I guess. I was actually about to kill Niall for runes, but I looked it up, and thankfully I did, because he is actually susceptible to poison. It's just, you know what I mean, though? Like, if you're a poison user, please inform me. Like, what about it? Like, I don't mean this in like a demeaning kind of way. Like, I am just genuinely curious. What do you find fun or good about it? Because I don't really see it. I don't really see the vision. I don't think it's necessarily a fun build to play, even though that's purely subjective, but I don't see what's even effective about it. And I'm talking like, even katanas aside, like forget about the katanas, like just poison as a concept for a build. Like what's the end game there? I find it very, very strange. All right, we got this bad boy to a plus 12. The Nagkiba was a plus 6, so it's gonna look like it's doing way more damage than the Nagakiba, but that's just because of what I leveled. And we do like no damage. Love that. Alright, he's poisoned. We did it, ladies and gentlemen. Now we can focus on the ads and still be doing damage to the boss. Weird how we can poison the poison guy, and the poison wore off, like, immediately. Okay. I don't even know how much damage that did, but he has an insane amount of health left, so. And I cannot re-proc it for the life of me. There we go. I'm just not crazy for, like, 30 damage a second. I'm gonna be honest. That's not really doing much for me. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the moveset of, like, the double slash. That's pretty cool. It just makes me wish it could have any Ashite 1 on it, so I can infuse it with, like, a better status that just isn't default poison. I also can't poison these like spirit guys, but other than that, it seems like this kind of weapon is like made for this fight. No, it's not great for this fight, but I think it's made for it. Poisoned again. I'll probably end up having to use this against like Maliketh just so we can use like a remembrance boss with this weapon, but I won't like it. I don't know why I keep fighting some of the hardest bosses in these games with like the shittiest weapons. Also, we got a ton of runes for that because it's doing like the bonus rune like snow thing where these leaves fall. And I have the golden scarab talisman, so we just made hella money off that. All right, well, here's one of our other use cases. Serpent blade, go! Wow, check that poison, baby. Now, to clarify, this isn't just normal poison. There's actually 2 stages of poison that the game doesn't really tell you about. There's like poison, and then there's badly poisoned, right? It's kind of like Pokemon, with like how toxic is like a more intense poison. So this is the equivalent of like the bad poison, which expires faster, but does more like actual damage, which is crazy because I still think the damage is complete dog shit. It's already gone, so it's miserable. This weapon sucks. I'm just gonna go ahead and get that out of the way. This better be the worst weapon that we use today. I'll be so real with you. This better be the worst. The only other thing I can say is at least the scaling's decent. It just sucks that the base damage has to suffer because, oh, it's poison, so compensate. Like, it's gonna actually get me killed to Draconic Tree Sentinel, which is like the easiest fucking boss in the game. Like, I cannot get over how fast that expires compared to how many hits it takes to actually get the target poisoned. It's just, why would you use this? Like, really? Like, it's just to be quirky. It's just to say that you did. It's like you felt bad you were using a katana because they're like cheese or whatever, and you're like, okay, I'll use like the worst one, I guess. Like, this thing's damage is so bad. Like, it's so bad. Actual diabolical damage. Yeah, this shit sucks. This is not good. Also, you can see that I know it's supposed to be like a snake skin, right? But like, you can see that it has like the little sharp bits. I'm using like the wrong terminology for that, but like, you know what I mean? Those little sharp bits on the back of the weapon. Why does this not do bleed damage? I think bleed damage would have been the saving grace for this weapon. It might even still be the worst one, but at least it would have that going for it. I don't know what to give this thing now. Like, how do the other katanas do bleed, but this one doesn't? That would fit so perfectly with its like theme of status, because it still takes so many hits to proc. Like, I'm getting 2 swings there. Like, maybe if you were dual wielding them, I don't know. And you can't dual wield them in new game because there's only 1 per game. The amount of hits I'm getting on this guy and it not proccing poison is like actually infuriating. Like, you have one job it's not even a good job and you're still doing it poorly. Like, doing something bad poorly is the worst thing you can do in this game. I mean, are you aware of the minuscule damage numbers that are happening right now? Like, are you looking at the screen? This thing is a plus 12 on Draconic Tree Sentinel, plus 12. My plus 6 Navakiba would be dunking on this guy right now. Like, straight up swishing. Like, I don't... Like, I'm dropping this shit immediately after this guy is dead. I might not even use it again this entire run. I'll be so straight up with you. This might be the last fight this weapon sees. Unless I find something that I suspect to be worse than this is probably the last boss it's gonna face. Well, no, because I want to kill at least one remembrance with it. Fuck. I'll find somebody. It might just have to be Godskin, though. That fight's already annoying, though. I don't know. I would say I would just use it on, like, Morgott, since he gets dropped by pretty much anything, because he's weak to, like, everything. But the kicker is that he's immune to all status ailments. So, what the fuck? Oh, maybe Mohg? Is Mohg weak to poison? He's weak to blood. Well, Mohg's kind of hard, though. I don't know. There we go. I hate that I have to lock in to get that guy, because normally I don't even think about it. Like, I just throw myself at him and he dies, because he's, you know, Draconic Tree Sentinel. But I hate that I have to, like, think about what I'm doing. You shouldn't have to do that with that fight, with, like, any other weapon. But yeah, let's go ahead and take that off. That's rough. That is rough. All right, right here we have the +4 Meteoric Blade. So let's go ahead and use that against this little dude here. This is going to do split damage with magic, unfortunately. And unfortunately also, its name is not Moonveil. So I don't think literally anybody cares about this weapon. But we will, we'll see. I don't think I did a proper showcase because I couldn't wield it yet. But I will after we kill this guy. And we'll check out this skill right here. Awesome. Really glad that did a whole lot for me. That was the worst timed dodge I've ever seen in my life. That heavy attack is very unique. This also seems a little bit on the short side. I don't know. I suppose that's not really fair. Really, there's the Nagakiba and then the everything else tier when it comes to length, because it's just so far and ahead the longest weapon. Okay, here is the weapon. It looks kind of meh to me. I feel like you could have went a lot crazier with a weapon that comes from a meteor. This seems kind of basic, but for one-handed moveset, pretty standard stuff. Tap heavies. Very fast. And then charged. Alrighty. And then two-handed. And tap heavies. And charged heavies. And just to cover ground, we got our rolling attacks. And then we have Gravitas, which if you've seen enemies use that, you probably can guess what it does. I'm guessing it's just going to bring everything close to you. I don't know if there's like a follow-up you're supposed to do with that. It doesn't seem like it. I think it literally just brings things to you, which is okay. It's not like Radahn's where you get that cool like hit afterward. You just bring them to you and then they whoop your ass because you're not using a good katana, but okay. I mean, I'll give it a fair shot. I'm shitting on it and I haven't even really used it. I hit one enemy with it. This also does bleed buildup. Tell me how this does bleed buildup, but not this. Like, hold on. You tell me which one of these is going to bleed you. Which one of these weapons here do you think is going to cause the most bleed damage? Yeah, we'll go ahead and kill Goldfrey with this. Probably, I don't know about Morgott yet. I'm not entirely sure. Is Radahn weak to gravity stuff? I mean, yeah, I know he uses it, but I don't know. Because I bet Radahn, I could technically use the poison blade on him. I bet that would work. Or maybe it's only Scarlet Rot. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, I have decided that I will fight Radahn with the good ol' poison blade, because I just cannot see a world where I can beat many other demigods with this. I feel like a lot of people are used to seeing runs like this and they're done by people that like know what they're doing. I fucking suck at these games. Like, I am by no means like a challenge runner. Like, I am straight cheeks. I just have a lot of playtime in this, but I'll have a lot of NPCs here helping me out, hopefully assisting me. And yes, he is weak to Scarlet Rot. He's not weak to poison, but he's not immune to it. So this should be okay. Because, like, of course I could just use this weapon on someone that is, like, immune to poison, and I'll just use it as a weapon. But it sucks. Like, I'd be doing myself a huge disservice by doing that. All right, he's poisoned. It looks like he's taking a lot of tick damage from it, but that's just because all the NPCs are hitting him. I assure you none of that damage is coming from me. Hi, Radahn. You still poisoned up there, buddy? Yeah, you are. Maybe if this thing got, like, a double damage boost if an enemy is poisoned, like, maybe that would be okay, but otherwise, no. Just don't use it. It's just not worth it. Like, not even a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and get Goldfrey out of the way. Let's use the Meteoric Aura Blade. It is a +4. Let's see what kind of damage we are looking at. Not great, but that heavy attack does look cool. I feel like even in the not great katanas, you can see a lot of effort put in. Oh wow, I just died to Goldfrey. That's crazy. I feel like you can see a lot of effort put into the movesets in these weapons, just because, like, how many unique heavy attacks have we had so far? Like, there's the standard one, then there was the poke of the Nagakiba, the double slash of the serpent, and then the overhead of this one. We've had a different heavy attack for every single weapon we've used. That's kind of nuts. I think that's already more than, like, the entirety of the colossal swords and the twin blades, maybe even combined. I don't know. That is like a ridiculous amount of variety. Also, this thing is very short and I keep missing my swings and it's hurting my feelings. I'm trying to think of the equivalent spell in this game to the like great magic weapon from Dark Souls. I'm trying to think what spell I can get to help some of these weapons out since I'm already leveling int. Not that the Nagakiba fucking needs help. That shit is the help. Use that ash, see if it does literally anything. It did a little bit of damage, I guess. Still no idea why you would really use it, but that's okay. We'll do it again though, just because it's fun. Wow. Actually, let's finish Goldfrey off with it. Yeah, good weapon. I think, I don't know. It's okay. I have to, like, alter my expectation. You know what? This reminds me a lot of the curved sword run from DS3, where there's, like, such an obvious first place weapon that is just staring at you, and you just have to, like, look past it and pretend that, like, the other weapons are holding up to snuff in any capacity when they're just not. Like, I have to squint and try to have, like, a persuasive essay about how the Uchigatana can actually stand a chance. It doesn't. Like, it just straight up doesn't. It is a worse weapon, period. That is all. Like, oh yeah, well, the serpent blade, it poisons, and it's like, cool. My Nagakiba will kill yours, though. Like, that's just how it works. All right, let's go on in. A +4 seems pretty low, but that's kind of the best we can do with our somber smithing stone stuff. All right, Mr. Morgott, last of all kings. 250 damage a swing isn't lighting the world on fire, I'll be honest with you. I think for now, I just kind of want to book it to, like, O'Neill so I can, like, power level, because I'm just not doing great on levels right now. A good amount of poise damage, though. I will say that. That was pretty good poise damage. Lead proc was really clutch. Love that. Also forgot to throw on another talisman since I got the talisman pouch. I guess I'm glad I'm using a worse off weapon just so I can fight Morgott longer. I like the Morgott fight. I will get hit by that every time. I feel like if this weapon did strike damage, I would be very happy. Since it's more brutish by nature with it being made out of, like, you know, like some ancient metal from another planet. I feel like that would be a really cool mix-up between the different katanas, because I think pretty much all of them are exclusively slash and then that pierce for the, like, tap heavy attack. At least all the ones we have now. Yeah, slash pierce. Yeah, all of them slash pierce. That being said, though, we can actually use Moonveil now because I have leveled intelligence enough, so we can go ahead and throw that on for a moveset showcase. Okay, Moonveil. This is a very, I guess, standard looking katana, but I still think it looks really cool. I like the kind of scaliness it has on the top. I don't know. I find it aesthetically pleasing, I suppose. Now, for our standard R1s, It's the very standard attack chain. Then we got our tap heavies, which are the poke. Love the poke. There's the charged. Beautiful. And then for two-handing. And for tap. And there. Okay. So it is just the one-handed that gets the poke. So I guess if you are dual-wielding them, that'd be pretty good. Although it's Moonveil, so you can't really dual-wield them, but who cares? That's besides the point. Now, what you're really using this for is that weapon skill. That L2 goes kind of nutty. Transient Moonlight. It is, again, a stance-based, because you hold this position until you decide to actually use the skill. So you will get that boost from Rennala's cameo, and it will do this. Or that, depending on your heavy or light. That first one was heavy, the second one was light. So if I'm holding this and I hit R1, which is your light attack, you have that little beam. And if you do that with heavy attack, you get that bigger beam. That is what elevates this weapon, apparently. I've always heard it be hyped up. I've used it before, but I never, like, used it, if that makes sense. Like, I dual-wielded it alongside the Starline sword whenever the DLC came out, and I used that one as, like, my main, like, Ash of War weapon when this one was just in my other hand, just because it was, you know, intelligent scaling as well, so it naturally paired. So I used it more so just as, you know, having another katana as opposed to using it solely for it, if that makes sense. All right, Godskin Duo. Well, I guess just Apostle, but one of the duo. Damage isn't horrible. This is still at a +4, by the way. Yay. I mean, yeah, it's not bad. I think it's just gonna be at kind of middle of the pack, if not a little bit lower, just because it has competition, being Moonveil and the Nagakiba, but I mean, we'll see. All right, I went and got the Moonveil leveled up to, what was it, a +6, which is about as high as we can go right now. And I figured it's about time to go get the only thing that could be more infamous than Moonveil, the Rivers of Blood. This thing has put the fear in God in so many people in this game. Specifically the, I guess, PvP people. Because I don't know why you would care if it's PvE, if something's too strong, I don't know. But this poor weapon has terrorized people for years now. And despite the weapon being nerfed like fucking 3.5 years ago, people will still swear to you that it's like the best weapon in the game, which is nuts, because it's just not. But the fact that it could leave an imprint like that is telling. And he'll give us a little demonstration by whooping my ass, because this guy is absolutely going to just fold me with this weapon. Not because it's like the weapon, but just because it's an NPC fight and I suck at those. Like, you see what I mean? Is this fun for anybody? Is fighting NPCs like a fun thing that you seek out to do? Like, look at what's happening right now. What was even that? Like, I don't... It's the spam dodge into cheese-ass, like, stun luck Ash of War. Like, and I know that that's just, like, a PvP thing, but I hate PvP. I cannot tell you the last time I played this game online. Like, what is happening? He's just running. He's running and dodging all of these attacks. Like, look at that. Thank you. Oh my god. Of course, the last hit was the bleed proc. That's awesome. I believe this is an arcane weapon, if I'm not mistaken, so we won't be able to really use it till we respec. Yep. So we are going to have to probably respec into it and then back out of it in this, because obviously it has no int scaling, decent dex scaling, but this very much is a arcane weapon, which we are not built for at all. It's our second, or tied for lowest stat in the game. So it is going to be a hot minute before we can use that. And so we'll just wait to do the showcase until we're like actually ready to use it. But well, at least we have it. Okay, we're going to finish off today's recording session with Commander O'Niall. We're going to go ahead and give a final farewell to our best bud here, the Serpent Blade. It has served us poorly, but I want to just make sure I never have to use it again. And it would bring me great comfort to know that I never have to touch it again. So we're going to use it on like the last boss that we could theoretically even get any amount of use from it with. I could be using Moonveil right now, and I want you all to know that. I could be having fun right now, but I'm not allowed to. Instead, I'm going to do no damage against this guy. This is leveled, by the way. This is a leveled weapon. It is level 15. A plus 15 weapon. And these dudes are like laughing at me as I'm swinging. Like, god damn. This might be a O'Neil fight where I just have to go straight for him instead of getting his ads out of the way. But that is such like a bad idea. Like 99% of the time. But well, let's at least get him poisoned. And then we'll worry about taking care of his ads. Or not. That also works. Okay, he is poisoned. Let's focus on his entire army that's gonna gang up on me and kill me. So that's okay. Dude, you do not understand how much that Moonveil is calling to me like the Green Goblin mask. It wants me so bad. It calls to me. And I forgot to send the elevator back down. So instead I will die to this thing on the way to the boss, which certainly is effective as a strategy. And I waste my perk for the Great Rune Overhaul mod. Love that. I didn't need that boost in HP anyway. That is an optional thing that occurred. Awesome, I'm not using it anymore. I'm just actually not gonna use it. Nope, I'm good. I technically used it in the run. I'm good. I don't need to use it. I am A-okay without it. Okay, we're using a real weapon now. A weapon for real people. And I'm going to get my ass beat anyway. I hate how he buffs them. That's such a dick move. Okay, I'm done for today. I'm done. We're good. We are so good right now. I'll see you tomorrow. Well, hello again. It is the next day. Well, actually, it's 2 days later, but we'll pretend it's the next day. I got some warm coffee in front of me. It's 7 in the morning, Saturday morning, you know. I got nothing better to do. I mean, I do. I've been playing the Black Flag remake, but we'll pretend that this is what I really want to be doing right now, is using the fucking poison katana against this dude. I got some new drip, as you've seen here. I would like just one poison proc. Just for me. Oh, I've also taken off the Radagon's talisman because I feel like that's just been hurting me with the increased damage taken. It'd be really cool if I wasn't stubborn and just went to like the grind area to do this instead of doing Commander O'Niall, or just Commander Niall, not O'Niall, whatever. I mean, we also died using Moonveil against this guy, so I feel like Twin Blades are just kind of the better weapon here. I don't think we really had any troubles with Twin Blades. Eventually we'll be able to start the boss fight, you know? One of these days we'll get it going. Okay, now we can actually start the boss fight. That's pretty cool. I've hit him like 8 times and he has not been poisoned yet. Oh wait, yeah, he has. Never mind, I lied. I mean, granted, I think this also would be better if our weapon did like any amount of damage. That would really help us out. Like, I think our entire poison, like the amount of HP of damage that it does, is the equivalent of like a single R1 from just a better weapon. Like, it does nothing. And this is good poison too. I just do not like poison builds at all. There we go. Yeah, check that awesome critical damage, by the way. Lighting the world on fire with that one. Like, you know it's bad damage when you can't even see, like, the yellow of the health bar go down. Especially on a heavy attack like this. That's so sad. I mean, what's really stopping you from just using the Nagakiba, but getting, like, a fucking poison infusion or something? Is that even a thing in this game? I don't know. It's gotta be better in this. That was terrible. No good. Very bad. All right, cool. Well, now we have access to basically infinite levels as long as I have the patience for it. And it's me, so I have the patience for it. And then we could, I was gonna say DLC, but we still have katanas to get in base game. I'd say we probably go get Dragon Scale, and then we'll save Malenia for a little bit, just because it's Malenia. All right, we've leveled up a little bit, and I figured we'd go ahead and do gargoyles. Normally, I would skip these guys because I have even just a teeny bit of self-respect, but we have somehow managed to find the 3 weapon types that we need to do these guys in every single run. I don't know how. Every run I've had to fight these guys. No, I guess technically we don't have to, but this is the shorter way, just because we need to get to the Lake of Rot for one of our katanas, and this is just the way that I most know how to do without having to do Ronnie's entire quest line. After we get these and do the Lake of Rot stuff for the katana, I think I do want to go to DLC because I want to eventually kill Maliketh with the Moonveil, but I want to get Rellana's talisman first in the DLC because that's really going to boost our damage with our Ash. Even an unbuffed Moonveil is still good because I don't know if I properly explained it before. Moonveil is just unsheath but does more damage. So all the buffs that would normally come with Unsheathed are here, except you get that magic damage and range along with that as well. It is kind of stupid, actually, how good this thing is. Which is unfortunate, because if you're not really, like, sold on the idea of a katana just as, like, a concept, it's kind of a boring weapon if you think about it. Like, what exactly is, like, special about this? It's a katana, but when you use the skill that's on all the other katanas, it has, like, a beam. It's not even like a different animation. It's just unsheathed, but slightly different. Well, anyway, Lake of Rot time. Well, here we are in the Lake of Rot. We're gonna go over here somewhere. I mean, I've done this before, but I forget exactly where it is. And we gotta fight a boss in the lake, which sucks, and it's terrible. But we do have to do it. Look how much damage we're taking. Oh my. Okay, and there's a way to raise this platform, because that's the boss right there. I bet it's that little thing right there. And we gotta kill that guy. This might not be it, actually. Oh, no, this is it. Okay, so we're gonna try to just cure the Scarlet Rot, and hopefully it doesn't hit us with it again. Can you please come up here so I can fight you? Thank you. It's okay, I'll just miss every single swing. Why can't I do damage to you? I don't know why I'm not doing damage. Your hitbox is stupid. Okay, well, I can't actually hit the critical, but that's okay. They did. And we get the Dragon Scale Blade. Now, this one I have used before, and I do think it is pretty solid. Now, I don't think, just to rip the band-aid off, I don't think it's going to beat the Nagakiba, and I don't think it's going to be even close. But I think, like, in isolation, it's pretty strong. Oh yeah, we also have to fight this guy. I haven't been to the round table since I got the medallion. Hello. Goodbye. I wonder what happens if you lose that fight. Can you just get, like, locked out of the round table? Okay, I'll try to get all the weapons we have leveled up to as much as we can, and then we will go ahead and do a showcase for Dragon Scale, and we'll see where it takes us from there. Alright, our weapon is not upgraded as much as I want it to be at all. It's only a +6, but also it's Moonveil, so I don't know. Oh, and if it wasn't already apparent, I got new drip again. This is from the guy that gave us the Nagakiba. Well, gave us. He died and we took it off his corpse. And I did not know that this armor is, like, exclusively better than our first two in every single department. Did not know that, so we'll be using this. Also, our damage is fucking terrible, and I'm really sad about that. Aside from the Uchi Katana and the Serpent Bone Blade, I have everything else leveled as much as I can. I was thinking about going and getting, like, Freezing Armament, so we can cast that on our Nagakiba, so I can dual-wield it with this. I think that'd be pretty cool. So if we die here, I'll probably go ahead and do that. It'll be kind of a detour, but I mean, that's fine. Man, he gets so much health back from the knee heal. I also might just have to bite the bullet and go find a Somber 7, because I already have the Somber 8, so this weapon could be doing a lot more damage. I just hate looking for upgrade materials, so I always just wait until I can just buy them. It's like the only part of this game that I have to, like, look up where to find. Everything else in my kit, I just know, which is odd, because upgrade materials are, like, universal no matter what kind of run you're doing, unless, obviously, it's like a no upgrade run. Like, all the talismans I use, oh yeah, I know where all those are. Where's, like, a Somber 7? No clue. I could not tell you. You could have a gun to my head, I could not tell you where a single one of those are. I do also want this guy's Great Rune for the overhaul mod, because it does help with bleed stuff. Why does this dude have wings, by the way? Is that a misbegotten thing? Because Morgott doesn't have wings. You should drink more Red Bull. I don't know. Ow. Okay. Yeah, our damage was fucking terrible, and obviously we would have gotten that, like, in 1 or 2 more tries, but I'm gonna go upgrade my shit, because that's just gonna hurt my feelings. Alright, we got ourselves frozen armament, so we can put that on our Nagakiba. Boom, that is now frozen, and now we will be doing some frost buildup as well. These are all leveled, that one was level 18 before, but Moonveil is now +8, so this should be doing a ton more damage. Not even a little bit, but that's okay. There we go. I mean, still not good, but better. Bro, what? What was that hitbox? That was insane. Well, I'm really glad I spent all that time leveling and getting all my stuff in order, only to die in the first 5 seconds of the boss fight, hitting him like 3 times. That was really cool. Ooh, I should have probably made this Nagakiba the Keen Affinity, huh? That would have probably helped a lot. I should also probably swap the hands that these are in, so I can use Moonveil's Ash over the Nagakibas, because I don't see us using like Piercing Fang a whole lot. Okay, take 2. I have more health. It seems like we're doing a little bit more damage. I mean, still not like great damage, but it's more. Man, that's still one-shotting me, and I have 90, or not 90, 57 vigor at this point. I don't know how much health this game really wants me to have, but it's a lot. I think I've said this in every video, and it's not because I'm losing. I just don't really care for Mohg, like, as a boss. Dude, like, it's so obnoxious. Okay, let me power level some more, I guess. I'm only level 110, I think. Let me get to like 120 or 25 or 30. Fuck it, I might just go to 200. I don't give a shit. Yeah, 114, not high enough level yet. Oh, hey, it's me again, but it's later. I went and killed Rykard, got his Great Rune. I didn't bother showing it because I'm not using a katana anyway. I mean, obviously I'm gonna use the Serpent Hunter weapon. Other than that, I'm now 40-40 with my dex and intelligence stats, so that's cool. I think I'm at 60 vig now. Pretty sure I leveled that, I don't know. It's been a long time. If I die again, I'm gonna go all the way to the Halig Tree and get the defense talisman. I do not care. Awesome. I got that while that was still frosted. That's really good. Frost is worn off now, but that's okay. Got the bleed, and we'll go ahead and reapply frost. Sippy sippy. Is he immune to frost? That'd be very funny. I'm also like 90% sure this guy's resistant to magic, so Moonveil is like definitely not the play. But if we're going by that logic, fucking everything in this game resists magic. So I hate how long he's in the air, but I mostly hate how often this dude will just go into like infinite combos. It feels really bad. Like he can seamlessly go from one combo to the next and end up attacking for like actually 30 straight seconds of uninterruptible moves. It fucking sucks. And when you have a buff like mine that's on a timer, that really hurt. Like my frost will just wear off by the time he's done hitting. Just take half my HP with a single swing when I'm fully armored and have 60 vigor. No, it's fine. It's cool. And just fly away when I have an attack window to start your infinite combo that you will use for the next 55 minutes. There we go. Down to the wire. Now I get to go to the DLC where I get to spend the next 3 to 4 hours collecting like 50 Scadutree fragments. That's really cool. Well, I'll see you guys at sunset, I guess, whenever I get that done. Alright, we're gonna sneak on by the NPC fight, because I have self-respect. And boom, Rellana's cameo. That is going to help a lot with our Moonveil here, with the Transient Moonlight. We'll go and throw that on, swap this one out, boom. And I guess we'll just finish this place, but basically that's gonna let our stance-based ashes do a lot more. I'm not sure if that stacks with Alexander, but I don't know why it wouldn't. So we'll probably throw that on at the same time and just do actual war crimes amount of damage. Alrighty, Alexander, let's do Fire Giant. We're gonna use just the Moonveil because I don't really count Mohg as a usage for it since we're like dual wielding and really the start of the show was the Nagakiba. So we will use Moonveil here and then we'll probably use it again for Maliketh. And hopefully this doesn't take forever because it's Fire Giant, but we're using like a magic split damage weapon, so I don't have very high hopes. Alright, now let's test this stance damage real quick. Boom! That's really good for Fire Giant, actually. That's really good. Fire Giant is your resident 1 million HP boss that takes no damage. You know, that's only going to get better once we get Alexander's Talisman. Look at that damage, baby. Yeah. Yeah. I do think my verdict has pretty much remained the same for all of this. I think I just prefer Twin Blades. I think that they're just kind of a better katana. I don't know. It's very, like I get it, but unless you're just into the vibe of a katana, I just feel like everything that they do, the Twin Blades just also do. Like Twin Blades like are faster. They're more diverse in what kind of weapons they are. Like there's heavy ones, or rather there's strength ones, there's dex ones, there's quality ones, there's holy ones. With katanas, you basically are stuck with dex, int, or the combination of the two of them. There's not really much else in that department. I mean, I guess there's a poison one. There's not a poison twin blade. Hallelujah. Wow, that one-shot me. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Okay, but this time is for real, though. Ooh, great hit from Alexander. Headshot. Instantly knocked down again. Love that. Stab him in the eyeball. Did no damage. That's okay. He put in his contact lenses as a shield. I'm so shocked that didn't one-shot me. I'm going to be so honest. And we'll finish him off with a good old bam. There we go. Last one, too. Last usage we had of that. All right, the only thing stopping us from fully upgrading our weapons now is Godskin Duo. And after that, everything can get fully upgraded. We'll go hit up the last of the talismans that we want for our run. Pretty much have access to everything besides like the Erdtree favor +2. Like everything else is fine. All right, Loretta, come get your ass. We do no damage yet again. We love to see that trend. Now granted, she most definitely has some sort of like magic resistance since she does magic, but like at the same time, I think that really does just have to cut into the weapon. It is the weapon's fault. It's not that I'm misusing it. It's just this game, or just any FromSoft game, really just shits on magic as an attack type. Like no matter how you feel about magic in like a power scale kind of way, if you think it's broken or whatnot, you have to admit that like defensive wise, pretty much everything resists magic. There's not really any bosses that are actively weak to it. Some are just more weak than others, which I just don't think is very fair. And I think it's a very band-aid solution to balancing magic as a whole. Okay, we got some really strong spells in this game. Let's just make everything wall magic to compensate. Feels very odd. I mean, we got her, so there's that. I figured we'd come here right before we finish up Farum Azula, do the rest of Millicent's quest. Okay, how many runes you get for being Loretta? That's insane. It is now that time in the run to die to this guy about 4 or 5 times before I can continue with Millicent's quest. This guy sucks. I hate this arena. It's way too small. You have to stand in poison the entire time. I actually got him. Maybe I am improving. No, that can't be it. You know what, this time I think we've earned a break. I think we're gonna go ahead and stab Millicent in the back this time. The successive attack bonus isn't gonna be like a huge thing for this run. It's pretty mild in its effects when it comes to this weapon because it's not like super fast or anything. And we can always use that little dex bonus. How many heals does she have? Also, where are the, like, 4 other sisters that are supposed to be here? Only one bothered to show up? Why can't it be like this one? I'm trying to kill her. Yay, Millicent's prosthesis. Yippee. She bloomed, baby. All right, it is Godskin time. We're gonna use Moonveil on this and Maliketh, and then we're gonna be done with it for a while. Just because I feel like we've been using Moonveil a lot. I don't even know if I have, like, on camera, but for, like, grinding, I've been Moonveiling a lot. There we go. Good, I got that bleed proc on the last hit. That's pretty cool. Wow, hit me through his body that I couldn't see. Love that. There we go. I mean, it's pretty simple. I mean, it's Moonveil. It's not like it's ever going to be like terrible, even with its split damage that I heavily disagree with. All right, Maliketh. We're using a maxed out plus 10 Moonveil here. We do have Alexander's Talisman equipped, along with Rellana's Cameo and Millicent's Prosthesis for our DPS talismans. So this should hopefully be doing pretty decent damage with our actual Ash here. Go ahead and test that out, maybe? Nope. Okay. It's gonna be kind of hard to land one on Maliketh because how fucking fast this dude is. He be straight up zooming. Let's try it here. Big damage. Love that. Granted, not as big as some of the damage we've seen in our other runs, but I mean, I'll take it. Okay. 1,008 damage. I feel like you're better off just kind of using like a colossal weapon or something. I mean, I know that's like a completely different kind of build, but I mean, that's just like a jump R2 of like the Guts Greatsword, you know? Like doing 4 digits of damage in one attack isn't like some super unachievable thing in this game. Or if you hit it directly, you get, 1,200, which is pretty decent. Again, it's not bad. It's just like, I don't know. I've just seen better. Like, that's it. I don't know. So far, I think the Nagakiba is really winning me over here. Like, Moonveil's Moonveil. Definitely not bad. But I just think it doing split magic damage is doing no favors. For the Ash, I think it makes sense. But I just wish the normal attacks weren't tied to the worst damage type in the game. That was a horrible idea. I don't know why I did that. Here we go. Way cleaner. Way cleaner. I think it's DLC time. We have still not used Dragon Scale, but that is for good reason. Actually, you know what? Let's do that now. Because the thing with Dragon Scale is it's very similar to the Great Katana, the Dragon Great Katana. I forget its name right now, but where it does bonus damage to dragon type enemies. So I was waiting until we were going to fight some dragons, but let's make that right now. Because if not, I'm going to end up forgetting about Placidusax. And, oops. Before we fight Placidusax, let's go ahead and do a weapon showcase since I've not done that yet. I promise you it's not going to be anything super special, but we'll do it anyway. All right, we got our standard R1s. It is the same as every other single R1. We got our tap heavies and our charged heavies. It's going to be that overhead slash. Then we got our one-handed moveset. Same deal. Tap heavy, charged heavy. At least it's got the one-handed poke, but to be honest, it does make sense that it has the overhead since it's meant for slaying dragons. And then what makes this special, it has one of, if not my favorite kind of Ash of Wars or skills in these games. Sometimes Ashes just aren't gonna see use if they're too slow, even if it's a good Ash, right? Like sometimes it's just not the time for it, but this is one of those rare weapon buff ones. Now we have a weapon infused with Ice Lightning, which is a very odd but very cool pairing. And it is very cool, actually. Pun intended. And not only that, it does do damage on that lightning strike there, and the slash that we do with our weapon. That all does damage. That is very cool. It's not gonna do like a ton of damage, it's just kind of a little bonus sprinkled on top, but you're using this for the infusion. Like, that's just what you're doing. So there's that weapon. I'll tell you already, I do think I've been mixing up in my head what my last Katana run was, but I think this was my last Katana run that I did, was using this weapon. And I was pairing it with something else, but I can't remember what, but this was the main focal point. This would have been before I started my channel, but probably like 6-ish months ago. And the biggest problem I ran into with this is range. I don't know why they chose one of the shorter katanas to be the one that's supposed to be against dragons. I don't know why the Nagakiba is so long and why it's just so many leagues ahead of like every other katana we've used so far. I got no clue, but I'll pretty much just relegate this to dragon type enemies, kind of like how we just used like the Black Knight weapons in Dark Souls for demon type enemies, since that's what they're naturally made for. And this weapon kind of gives me the vibe that it wasn't meant to be your main weapon. It's more so like a utility, kind of like the Great Katana, where it feels like it's kind of made for Bale. Like you get it on the way to Bale. It does that bonus damage. It has that skill that is pretty much an anti-Bale like skill. Now this is a +9. I didn't want to fully upgrade it because I don't want to spend all my ancient somber stones, but we'll probably be using it for Placidusax, and then yeah, probably Bale. We'll use it for Bale. Other than that, I don't know how much use this one's gonna get. I want to go back and use the meteoric ore blade because I don't think it got that much attention, so we'll find a spot for that before we respec off of magic. I mean, there's also another magic based katana in the game, which is crazy. I think there's two actually, because the Starline sword and I think Sword of Night is also magic, which is just absurd. Way too many magic katanas. No idea what's up with that. Go ahead and use it here. I mean, it almost... Okay, 995 damage. That's like 200 less than Moonveil with the talismans that are buffing it. This one isn't getting buffed by Rennalas, by the way, or Rellanas, I mean. It's just kind of a useless slot I have right now. I haven't swapped it out for anything because I just don't care, and I forgot. I will say this is doing some dog shit damage. Not a fan of that. You know it's bad when you can't see the extra hurt on the health bar here. Let's just throw on like charged attack or something. I don't know, some filler stuff, and use this again. It doesn't last for too long, but eh. Oh yeah, it's this attack I forget about. Oh, my game crashed. Love that. Oh no, we're back. Okay. Never mind. The attack broke my game, but we're fine. I have yet to like actually practice this guy like I keep saying I'm going to, because I only ever fight him for these videos. I think that was a frostbite. That was a frostbite. Okay. I just love these ashes, man. They're so practical. They're not very stylish and whatnot. I can see you, buddy, from the frost. That's really fun, and I never knew that. You can see him while he's invisible. He's not actually teleporting. Yeah, they're not the flashiest. I mean, the use animation's pretty flashy, but it's just the practicality you cannot beat. Do more damage, period. That is all that I want out of an Ashe. That's all I could ask for. Unless it does stupid damage and it can do it instantly, I just don't care. Or it has like a completely broken effect like Taker's Flame, where it's just gonna be goated. I don't care. I find this infinitely more usable than Moonveil. I don't care if that's like an unpopular opinion. Or rather, Moonveil's Ashe, not necessarily Moonveil as a whole. But when this thing's infused, we do pretty decent damage. I mean, I can't really complain about that damage. Another frost, I believe? Maybe not. Please don't be the... Oh, man. We die here? Yep, that sucks. That was a decent run. Never mind, we're alive. I always usually die to laser attacks from dragons. Last use of it, but that should carry us through the rest. I disagree with that hitbox. Yeah, extremely messy fight, but we got through it. I mean, we first tried him. I think that's a first, right? I think that was our first try. Any chance that we can get through the rest of the run without dying, so we can be at 19 deaths? Leave your bets in the comment section. I'll give you a hint. Don't make that bet, because you will lose money. Okay, so you're telling me there's 1, 2, 3, 4 magic katanas in this game and 0 holy ones. Okay, actually super silly. That I'm surprised there's only 1 arcane one, to be honest. That's the blood one. That kind of surprises me. So we'll go to the DLC and then we'll probably finish on Rivers. I think that feels kind of fitting since Rivers is like the boogeyman of the katanas. Alright, as I go along and just pick up all the Scadutree fragment stuff, let's go ahead and get our next katana, the star-lined sword. Fill all these ads first. I haven't actually used many of the Scadutree fragments, so my defense is going to be absolutely terrible. But here's hoping. Oh, thanks for killing your allies. Oh, never mind. We're totally fine. Wowzers. That's some damage. Okay. Starline sword. Whoa, an katana, no way. That's crazy. We'll go ahead and do the showcase a little bit later for it, but just know that we have it and that it looks amazing. I love that. This might be my favorite katana design, honestly. It looks so good, but we'll see it later. We're going back to the old favorite here. We're going back to the Nagakiba. We're gonna see how that performs. I haven't used it in a hot minute. Been on all these intelligence scaling. Although this would be a good one for the dragon, since there's a pool here. It would do like that bonus lightning damage. God, this range is gross, man. Love it so much. Do that unsheath. Big damage. It does big damage, but its big thing is supposed to just be like poise damage. It's just that good. I don't know, gang. I think this is better than Moonveil. I'll be honest. It's a normal smithing weapon, so you get the perk of it being super versatile with what you want it to do. You can infuse it however you want. It's not stuck with magic damage. Just obnoxiously long for no reason. I mean, is the Moonveil's Ash just kind of a better version of Unsheath? Yeah, I guess. But like with this, you don't even have to use Unsheath if you don't want to. You have the freedom of putting your own Ash on this. So in a way, I think it is better in that regard. And I promise I'm not saying that just to be a contrarian. Like I just genuinely think I just see this being more useful. Try to end on an Unsheath here. Nope. Miss me with that fire attack. Alright, now I gotta spend the next 3 hours collecting stuff. Always love to see that. Okay, before we do this terrible boss for the Frenzied Flame wood area, I figured we would do a showcase for our new weapon, Star-Lined Sword. I've been using it a little bit off screen. I got it up to a +9. I've just been, you know, clearing random, like, non-boss stuff, getting my Scadutree level up. I think I'm at like 14 now. Yeah, level 14. So, for our two-handed moveset, we have our never-changing R1 combo. Then tap heavy and hold. Very cool. Now for our one-handed, same deal. Charged and tap. Now, what really makes this shine is something that I'll actually show off in the actual boss as to not waste my FP, but it is your Ash of War. That's kind of the appeal of this weapon. We'll go ahead and do a backstab and then try to pull it off. Here we are. We didn't quite get the full thing off, but it is a little bit flexible in the fact that you can just do the first 2 hits, or you can press the button again and do the full combo here. And it counts towards your bleed damage. So it is very, very strong, and I am a fan. This was very fun to use. Yeah, just completely skipped phase 2. I think it's the second time in a row we've done that. But if we were to show it off here, this is what happens when you just hit it once. And then if you keep pressing it, you get all of that. Now, I think, unfortunately, practicality-wise, I still prefer Moonveil's Ash of War, just because it is so fast. And if you have the time, you can get it buffed with Rellana's cameo. In this one, obviously, it's not stance-based, so you're not going to get that buff. Very unfortunate. I think if you're going for pure DPS, this one's better. But if you're in it for the poise damage, which you most likely are, I would say it's a little bit worse. Now, granted, this one is way cooler, and I prefer using this one. But I think if you're looking at just the numbers, I believe that this one is very much just a downgrade in that regard. You know, I've actually been doing some thinking. I don't know how much of like a popular or unpopular opinion it is. I think this Ash might be better than Moonveil's. I think when you take into account that this weapon also does bleed damage, this attack chain having 6 hits, that's gonna be really good for proccing not only your bleed, but also just your successive attack bonus that you most likely are using because it's like a dex weapon, you know? Now, I know this weapon gets most of its strength from its weapon level as opposed to its scaling, as it doesn't scale like the best out of the katanas, but I think that lets it be a little more versatile, as your stats don't matter as much. As long as your dex is high, that's about it. Its intelligence requirement at a +9 at least is like a D scaling. Yeah. I mean, just look at that. That's great. I don't know, man. I'm just having more success with this than the Moon Veil. And that is the item we needed to finish up the quest for the second last katana of our run here. So we can go ahead and suffer through Metyr, which, you know, yay. Actually, let's go fight Golden Hippo real quick. We didn't actually go do that. All right, let's go ahead and use our Starline Sword. I don't know how useful Ash is gonna be here because your attack windows are kind of odd with this guy. Try to use it here. Nah, not quite. I mean, that definitely is the trade-off with having a generally more effective Ash, is just, it just takes time to use. Man, that did so much damage for no reason. I know there are people that genuinely think this fight is worse than Gaius, and that's insane to me. That's, like, actually crazy. Gaius is fucking terrible. There we go. All right, now let's go fight Metyr. I mean, this room does look sick as fuck, though. Very Lovecraftian, almost, with like a cosmic horror kind of vibe. I've also never used this person's weapons. See what I mean? That's just good. Like, I don't know. Now, I don't know if I want to actually use this sword on this boss, because I can only assume it's like the highest magic defense in the game, like just by the nature of the fight. I'm not sure what else we would use. I was about to say Meteoric Blade, but that's also magic, because of course it is. I mean, this might be one that we respec into Rivers, but I don't know. I mean, yeah, this would be a good Rivers fight. Let's respec into Rivers. We'll get some bleed bosses done first, and then we can go back into magic and have a more rounded build. Fuck it, yeah, let's do that. All right, we got Rivers of Blood to a +9, and we are respect for it. And also, I fact-checked myself, and I was wrong. The Sword of Night, which is what we are getting at the end of this quest, is not an intelligence-based katana. It is a dex one. I don't know why I thought it was like a split between like strength dex and int. That is not the case. So, for Rivers of Blood, we got our two-handed, and look at that, the exact same. At this point, Malenia's is the only one that would even be different. And then we have our heavy, and then our tap heavy. We've all seen this before. Light attack, heavy attack, charged heavy. Okay, I've noticed a lot with katanas, the thing that scares everybody is the ash. That's like the thing that gets people upset. You know, with Unsheath, the Moonveil's ash, the Starlined ash, this one's ash, Corpse Piler. And if we tap it, it does this. And then if we do the full combo, it does that, which takes a good amount of FP, and we'll definitely have to allocate a flask to our magic for probably like the first time in any of these runs that we've done. So just so we can get more than like 2 uses out of it. Now, really the only thing I'm not getting for this build that would help us would be I believe it's the Lord of Blood's talisman, which is gonna give you a buff upon a blood loss. The thing is because I'm using the Great Rune Overhaul mod, I can just use Mohg's Great Rune, and it does that same thing, and as a passive. Granted, it's not as strong, I don't think, but it will give us that buff. I actually forgot to grab it up until a few minutes ago, so we could have been having some extra bleed damage there for a minute. We just haven't been doing that. There's also an item down there I don't think I've ever noticed. What is that? It's a purple item too. Awesome. Fucking cookbook. I should probably put this to a +10. You know, if I die, I'll make it a +10. But for now, it should be okay. Our damage is pretty good. I assume it's Rivers of Blood. All right, Metyr, I haven't fought you in many moons. Holy damage. Oh, whoa. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Excuse me, what? That's absurd. Okay, I gotta test against other bosses, because I'm just not used to the amount of damage you would usually do here, because that's gotta be doing something. Ain't no way this is normal. Fucking yikes, bro. I don't know. Alright, I don't really know how to dodge her big go into the air laser beam thing. Uh-oh. Oh, Oh, that's the closest to death I've ever seen a boss in this game. Holy shit. You know what? Fuck it. Let's fully upgrade it. I want to see it. I'm all about that. Maybe I should get that blood talisman just to make this even more stupid. Also, background is incredible here. It barely takes any hits to get a blood proc, and that range is awesome too. This kind of makes me sad I never used this weapon like in its heyday. I hate how much damage she does though. Like she does way more damage than she should. Like 1/3 of my health every swing is kind of ridiculous. Still not sure how to dodge that one. Also, is there no music in this fight? That's weird. Okay, oh, there's that. Yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah, 74 blood loss buildup. The other ones are at like 50, so quite a bit better. Yeah, that's a yikes moment. That is a yikes moment for sure. I gotta test this immediately on someone else. For some reason, I'm thinking like Godfrey might be good if we'd finish up the base game real quick, or not finish, but just get Godfrey out of the way. I want to see what kind of damage we can do on him. Are you ready to irreversibly destroy Gideon? Because I am. Is this also doing fire damage? That seems like a fire like effect that's happening, like a blood flame. Hold on. Yes, it is. It also does fire damage. Okay, so it's exactly like the Eleonora's pole blade. How many weapons in this game do bleed and fire? It's got to be more than I thought. All right, Godfrey, I have rivers of blood. I guess what makes me so surprised is like I was told this weapon was, I guess not nerfed into the ground necessarily, but I heard it was like a complete shell of its former self. But I mean, this is definitely less damage than I've seen on Metyr, but I mean, the blood is still blooded, you know? It's still a bleed weapon in Elden Ring. How bad can it really be? I haven't seen him do that leg kick in a while, or leg sweep, I guess. Yep. Granted, I think that was a lot more reasonable, and I know that looked really easy, but A, it's Godfrey, and his health isn't that high. And B, I feel like the Nagakiba would have done very similar to that. Oh, I should also mention, I don't know about the DLC katanas because I don't have like the updated information for that. But according to Fextra this is the 3rd longest katana, behind the Malenia's katana and of course the Nagakiba. I don't know if like the DLC ones are longer than this. This seems pretty long though. So you also get that on top of it being Rivers of Blood, as it's also very long. Thought I'd mention that. All right, let's go finish up the Metyr quest just so we can get access to our second to last katana. So something else I should mention is we have specifically built our character for this weapon, right? In all the other katanas, we were kind of doing a jack of all trades build just so we could use them all. So I feel like I should also mention that. But also we just completely drained this dude's HP. But keep that in mind, is like we weren't optimally using pretty much any of our other weapons because we had to, you know, use them all. So it is skewed a little bit there as well. But let's go ahead and finish up this quest. We just gotta give her the correct eye. All right, I believe we want to give her this one right here. Sword of Night. I'm not sure what the deal is there. I hope that wasn't like the bad ending for her because she seemed kind of at peace. I'd hate to be an asshole. Sword of Night. This is a pure dex weapon, as you can see. Just straight up only scales with dex, so that's what you like to see. And let's make it somewhere brighter so we can actually see what's going on. The weapon's like pure black, so it's kind of hard to see anything. Okay, so it turns out I was mistaken about being mistaken. It does not scale with intelligence or need intelligence, but it still does do magic damage for no reason. I got no clue, man. I don't know what they were thinking, but that is the case. So yippee, more magic katanas, yay! Do we need a single holy one? Of course not. We just need every single one of them to do magic damage. Hooray. Okay, so for moveset, two-handed. Wowee. Who could have seen that coming? Uncharged. Ooh, okay, it has the poison moveset. Okay, and then charged. I do prefer that heavy attack. That is my favorite. A close second being the poke, because you know me and the pokes. I'm all about that poke life. One-handed. Wowee. Totally new. And tap. And hold. So yeah, surprising nobody. And now we have Witching Hour Slash as our Ash here. Now that is a chargeable one. I charged it there, but if I were to just tap it, it would do that. But when we do hold it, it has a big ol' follow-up there. It being a dark weapon does actually have like a gameplay purpose. They cannot be blocked. They are incapable. Well, I guess they're capable. I think they do maybe slightly reduced damage. The point is against shield enemies, it is gonna be very good. I'm trying to get these guys to block and they're not blocking for me. Block me, sir. Use that shield of yours. That's cartwheeling is not a shield. Use your shield, sir. There we go. So not like a ton of damage, but definitely more, which to me, it seems like it's more of like a PvP thing. I'm not going to get like as much use out of that here in PvE, but that is something to definitely keep in mind. Yeah, I was a big fan of this sword when I used it in the past. It just looks cool. I love its unique, well, I guess not unique, but it's semi-unique heavy attack with the double slash. I feel like that works really well with you wanting to use it against shielded enemies, because that just excessive amount of slashes in a short period is really going to drain their stamina along with doing a little bit more damage. So it's going to break their stance and then you can crit them, and you know, you've played the game before. I don't need to explain these things. Yeah, I think we're going to use Rivers against Malenia because she does have that fire weakness, and I don't know who we use this on. We are running low on bosses, so we do actually need to think ahead to what we're going to use. But I think for now, we are going to use, for Malenia, Rivers of Blood. Let's see, Elden Beast. We could probably use the Sword of Night. I imagine they resist magic, but it's like just a teeny sprinkle bonus of magic damage, so it won't be that too big of a deal. And then Dancing Lion. Let's see, what have we not used a ton of? You know, we could probably use the Meteoric Ore Blade since it's just been forever since we've used it. I would have to respec though. Putrescent, there's not any holy options here, so I don't know, we could probably use the Uchi-Katanas again. I mean, they're only a +5. It's been forever since we've used them. I don't know, we still got most of the DLC bosses. I only killed like 3 of them. We have like a solid 7 more bosses to kill. Yeah, I think we should go ahead and do Malenia next. We'll swap over back to the Rivers of Blood, and we will get the last katana of the run. All right, we got our final send-off for the Rivers of Blood. We're gonna go ahead and do Malenia. This will also give us the last great rune that we need, which will be very helpful for us. Not as much damage as I was hoping for. I think she takes a little more damage in phase 2, or at least it seems like it. I don't know how much of the Ash we're gonna be able to pull off. You come out of the water so I can do bonus damage. Thank you. Ooh, that's gross. I mean, that still might be the best Ash in the entire lineup. We're dead here. Hate to see it. Ooh, boy, I hit you with a Mickey Mouse laugh that did so much damage. Boink. We got this. Big damage. I thought you were doing an entirely different attack. My bad. Okay, nice reset. We are good to go. My bad again. She just kicked my ass. I don't usually see her do that in phase 2. Oh, she's using that. I don't know why I thought she was doing something else. That was very unfortunate. I was not prepared for that. I don't know what I thought she was doing, but it wasn't that. I feel like you've had the same HP for the last like 5 full minutes. Stagger. No. I had to go for a Hail Mary. I mean, it's not impossible, but it's highly unlikely. Nope. That's the one attack she couldn't use. I can't dodge that. I ain't light rolling. I mean, decent first to try, though. First attempt. Way better this time. I think we got it this attempt if nothing goes crazy. Like, unless we get one shot by, like, a combo, I think we got this. Big bleed proc. This is great luck right now. This is like the best luck I've had on this fight. Again, in my YouTube career. She's using exactly what I want her to use when I want her to use it. She's using all the easy attacks. This is crazy. No, I don't think so, bitch. You don't get to use your ultimate. You don't get to do that. I hit you out of the air. Don't you ever try that shit with me, bro. I just grounded your ass. You don't get to hop up there and do your a million little attack thing. I just kill you. Mikla doesn't give a shit about you, bro. He left your ass. Anyway, that was Rivers of Blood. I'm gonna go ahead and grab her Great Rune, and then we will turn in that weapon and get it upgraded. I should not have spent my runes on levels because I have to fully upgrade her weapon. God damn it. And here we have it, the final katana of the run, the massive, but not the most massive for some reason, Hand of Malenia. This bad boy is okay. It takes 48 dex to wield, but is only a B scaling with dex at a +9 at least. It might go up to A at a 10, but I don't know. Who cares? It's not an S, so I'm mad about it. This is a pretty standard 50 in bleed buildup, and one should know it, every single katana has the exact same moveset for the light attacks. Literally all of them. That's awesome. And for heavy attack, this better be a poke. Good. Good. Okay, the two-handed better be a poke. Ooh, why isn't it a poke? She literally does a giant poke as her lunge attack. That makes so much sense for this to have the poke heavy. Very disappointing. Okay, the main draw, Waterfowl Dance. Wow. That was if you hit it once, and then if you keep on hitting it. Cool. And a surprisingly FP efficient skill. That took like no FP to use. Good damage too. Honestly, that's better than I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be one of those like super shitty, like flashy skills, but this, oh, well, there's your problem is you get hit out of it. It's not great. Oh, well, that could also happen too if you use that. Yikes. This fight blows. Honestly, I might hate this fight more than Metyr. It's just that Metyr is optional, so I just kind of hate it less. Well, this is optional too, but it has a ton of Skidoo Blessing behind it, so I always have to do it because I'm shit at the game without the Skidoo Blessing. And it's that charge right there that's so obnoxious. And he never sits still either. A B scaling dex for a Malenia's boss weapon is brutal. Basically the final boss of the base game. There's that bleed proc. Finally using that attack. It'd be really cool if we could first try Gaius. I want to be here as little as possible. Just one more, please. Thank fuck. Get me out of here. I think we could probably use the Sword of Night against Mesmer. That feels kind of thematic. I'm gonna have to double check to see the scaling on this weapon, because if it does get up to an A, I'll go ahead and grab another Dragon Smithing Stone just to get it up to +10, because the damage is extremely disappointing. Honestly though, I think Hand of Malenia is pretty on par with like the Uchi Katana, like the starting weapon. I'd say it's like a similar kind of weapon. Okay, I have looked into it, and this actually genuinely pisses me off. So not only does Hand of Malenia not even get up to a dex scaling, despite being 48 dex requirement, might be one of the highest in the game, but The Uchigatana. Okay, hear me out. I know it says C scaling there, but that's because it's uninfused and you always want to infuse weapons no matter what. Here's the deal. Its strength, dex, and quality of fusions are all better than Malenia's. It's literally the starting weapon of the game. Not only is it the starting weapon, you can get it from the start even if you don't select it. What is wrong with FromSoft? That is the dumbest shit in the world. Now, granted, the quality is a BB between strength and dex, so it's tied with Hannah Malenia, and it's a slightly worse B, but you get 2 Bs instead of 1 with the strength and dex. So there is actually zero reason for you to use this weapon. Like, not even a little bit. Like, it has better default bleed by 5. Awesome. Like, what an embarrassing weapon. Holy shit, dude. You're actually just using this for waterfowl, and if you don't vibe with it or it doesn't fit your build, don't even bother. It's not worth your time even a little bit. What an insult, man. All right, let's go ahead and do Mesmer. We're going to be using the Sword of Night just because that seems kind of cool against Mesmer. I don't know. I think he resists magic, but it's like a putrid amount of magic damage anyway. Like, oh no, 76 whole damage. Hold on to your hats, people. This guy's kind of the Malenia of the DLC. They kind of fight similar, which, you know, heritage-wise makes sense. I've also had extremely horrible Mesmer fights in every single run, so I really need this to go well. All of my wins have been the messiest wins imaginable, and I need that to not happen. Okay, that's fine. I'd rather get the death out of the way and get a new run started. Solid damage. I mean, it might be kind of fitting to use Malenia's weapon here, just because they're like siblings, I think. Holy shit. I swear I don't struggle on Mesmer unless I'm on camera. This is like not that hard of a fight in comparison to some of the others that I have a much easier time on. I always struggle more with Mesmer than Radahn even. I get Radahn pretty easily. Consort Radahn, that is. I need to get the talisman that helps charged skills. That'd be really cool. Oof, I thought I was just straight up out of range for that. I wonder if the guy's susceptible to poison because he's like a snake. I wonder if I could use the snake one. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. Like, Phase 2 looks intimidating, but it is infinitely easier than Phase 1. It's not even close. I mean, that was a messy fight, but that's probably the best one we've had so far. All the other ones I survived with like 0 HP with no flask remaining or whatever. Still kind of sad, but... All right, let's go ahead and just do Ramina. And then I can't forget to use the dragon scale for Bale since it does that dragon damage. You know what? I think damage could be better. What is it? B scaling? Yeah. B is just not good for katanas because I feel like katanas don't really do a ton of base damage. They kind of rely on scaling for their damage. So a katana with bad scaling is kind of just never gonna be good. I think A minimum is your scaling for these kinds of weapons. Unless you got a crazy skill to carry your weapon, it's gotta be an A. Charge up here. There we go. Boom. Bleed proc. My bleed procs are not very good in this run. I always end up like finishing an enemy with a bleed proc when normally you want to do it beforehand so your buffs have a chance to like actually activate from it. Because we got a buff from that thanks to Mohg's Great Rune, but we just didn't really get a good chance to use it. All right, I figured we'd give a send-off to the OG katana, the Uchigatana. I got them both maxed out. They're plus 25. And by the way, A deck scaling, by the way, an entire letter grade above Malenia's. What a joke, man. Holy. FromSoft make a balanced boss weapon challenge impossible, but they both have Unsheath. I went ahead and duplicated it. Not that it mattered, because I obviously can only use one ash at a time. But we got pretty much the best DPS we can ask for with these two talismans right here. These are just going to destroy anything. I could have respec'd these into like Holy or something, but who cares? As I sit here and get bodied by a horse. It's pretty cool. We should also probably have like our Claw Talisman on, but eh. See, that's decent damage, even for an unbuffed jump attack. Once I learned you have to jump over these, this fight got so much easier. As I get hit by literally every single hit in the attack chain. Love that. I don't know if this guy can bleed or not. I want to get like one good unsheath in. I was kind of hoping I could stagger him, and that would be my chance, but I don't think the stagger's coming. It's hitting me out of it. Boom! Look at that damage! Just from unsheath. Crazy. Let's not die here, please. Thank you. Yeah, Putrescent Knight. Woo, yeah, let's go. Farewell, Uchi Katanas. I definitely did not have to waste the 2 ancient smithing stones, but that's okay. All right, really the only bosses we have left are Elden Beast, Dancing Lion, Scadutree Avatar, Midra Bale, Promise Consort. So we are running a little bit low. God, that damage is crazy in comparison. I really want to use the Meteoric Ore Blade. I just don't know where. Yeah, the Starline and Meteoric Blade I want to use one more time at least. We're going to use this on Bale. Actually, let's do Bale next. That would make sense. Let's just get that out of the way because this is a Dex Katana. We can get that out of the way before we have to respec into anything. I'm not going to use Alexander's Talisman because I don't... Like, the attack, the literal attack of the skill isn't what we're really using it for. It's just to imbue our weapon. So I think this is probably going to end up being our loadout here. Yeah, I think what helps this above the rest is, yes, it is a B scaling katana, which is bad, but I do think its Ice Lightning Ash really does carry it to get above that. Also might summon Egon. Like, if any playthrough would be the one where you use a katana, either that or a great katana. I might go and get that real quick, actually, because I kept saying I was going to do Egon, but I haven't done it yet, and I really miss him. All right, Egon, let's kick his ass. Where is Egon? Egon, buddy. Egon? Oh, there he is. Yeah, that's not terrible damage. I feel like last time I did this, I was doing way less somehow. I don't know if I'm just better built for it, even though this is kind of a whatever run for builds, but I don't know. Is Egon dead? What happened to Egon? Egon, buddy. What are we doing over there? I wish it was a lot easier to hit his head. That's like my only, well, I guess not only, but it's like my main gripe with this guy is getting hits in just feels so awkward sometimes. Because I feel like it's one of those dragon fights where they definitely want you to aim for the head as opposed to the legs, given that, you know, he's missing one. And like, that's the hitbox. I missed all of those swings, by the way. I don't know. It's again, I think I am more of a Metyr guy, and I hate to say that because this guy has all of the sauce. This guy is like he's just straight up saucy. Metyr though is just such a better technical fight. I'm not even gonna bother going for the crit. Is Egon alive? I never can tell if Egon's alive. He's not like screaming, but I don't know if he's just out of dialogue or if he's dead. Oh, there he is. He's fucking pissed. He also moves around a lot. I'm not crazy about that. There we go. You did it, Egon. Yeah.
You shall haunt me no longer.
Damn right, Egon, damn right. He can't do shit now. If you were still alive after you did that, by God, I would have let you eat his heart. We're gonna go ahead and do Dancing Lion, and we are gonna go full DPS on this bad boy. We're gonna be using the Nagakiba one last time, Keen Scaling, plus 25, Unsheath, A Dex Scaling, Two-Handed Talisman, Alexander, Rellana, and Millicent's Prosthesis. We're gonna be doing a stupid amount of damage. I think we're at like at a 19 Skidoo level. Yeah, 19. I don't know why I always forget the last one. I don't know where it is. I'm sorry. But we're gonna absolutely curb stomp this dude. It's not even gonna be close. R1 does 1,000 damage, by the way. Oh my god. Oh, it's gross. 3,400. 3,400. Oh, baby. I'm playing really stupid here because I'm just trying to get these unsheaths. And that one only did 2,300, so you can see how much of that Rellana's cameo is really doing. Yeah, that's gonna be hard to beat, man. The Nagakiba is just stupid. It's such a silly weapon. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what you can say to that. It's just like a very, ooh, yeah, ooh, kind of weapon, you know? All right, Scadutree Avatar, Midra, Promise Consort, and Elden Beast. Let me see if there's anything else we can use before we swap back to intelligence. Now that I think about it, it probably would have been better to use Meteoric Blade for this fight, because it has that big gravity pull ash. So if I get surrounded, I could probably use that. God, that double hit heavy is so good. Oh my god! What the fuck? What? What else do you want me to do? I have 60 vigor. I have more than 60 because of my Great Rune. My passive increases my health a little bit. It's half my screen. What else do you want me to do? I got a defense talisman on, don't I? I know it's physical, but fuck. I don't even think Radahn's Meteor Smash is that much of a one-shot. Yeah, I'm getting away from that shit. Hell no. Stop spamming that. Don't use that. This shit sucks. What the fuck? Hello? What are we doing? Yeah, hello, Dryleaf Dane. Where you at? Hey, buddy. How's it going? What the fuck? This dude's harder than Malenia. What? I fucking despise NPC fights, man. You will never convince me otherwise. They are the cheesiest things in any of these games. Oh my god. God, I fucking hate NPC fights. Can someone make a mod to remove every NPC fight from the game? Like, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? He one-shots me. How do I not get one-shot? There is not a single attack in the game by a boss that can one-shot you. But fucking the nobody that invades me here can one-shot me? This actual nothing burger of a person? I just fought Baal. I just first tried Baal, the foulest and mightiest of all dragons, and I'm getting my shit rocked by some random dude in rags as he takes away half my health in a swing and then just has a fuck you, you die now move. Thank fuck. Okay, now I can actually start. And this guy shows up already buffed. That's awesome. And you can see I'm doing an amazing amount of damage, by the way. I'm doing over 1,000 damage a swing. These guys just have an insane amount of health. Why can't I have that much health? They're an MP, like they're a human. I'm a human. Why can't I get that kind of health? Look at this shit, man. There's literally nothing in a video game that gets me more heated than fighting an NPC in Dark Souls. There's actually nothing else in the world that makes me this angry. I could find out that my partner's been cheating on me and not be as mad as I am fighting an NPC. I'm also summoning this guy. Fuck this fight. Worst fight in the game. This isn't even F tier. This is G tier. F tier would be too good for this. I need to install like a default dance mod so I could hit the fucking, or like a gritty dance so I can hit the gritty on her corpse after I beat her. And that'd be the only enemy I use it on. Meteoric Blade on Scadutree Avatar. See how it goes. Not very well. Again, this is one of the katanas that I see the absolute least amount of stuff on. So I really don't know what the general consensus on this weapon is, but it can't be great because I feel like I hear it at least something on the others. This one just kind of exists. It being int scaling is doing absolutely no favors, I can tell you that much. You know how many other int scaling katanas there are in this game that this has to compete with? I think even like visual design wise, this weapon is kind of lacking. I mean, like, not to get into like the ranking part of the video where I yap too long anyway about these kinds of things, but I feel like making a katana out of a meteor should be so much cooler than what it is. Like, think of the Meteoric Ore Blade Ultra Greatsword, you know? That one was my #1 colossal sword of this entire game. And I feel like it's way cooler than this. It's not until I fight this guy that I realize I don't actually know how to like actually dodge any of his attacks. I just kind of sit here and take all of the damage, but he just dies first because he's a glass cannon. I got no idea how to dodge anything that he's doing. Like, actually no clue. Fuck it, let's use my thing here. Whoa. Man, he does not fucking sit still, does he? I'm going to lose to Scadutree Avatar. Like, when is it my turn? Huh? When is it my turn to attack? I gotta take a break. I'm gonna actually get heated. Like, ooh. It's always stupid shit like this that I have trouble with. Oh, Consort Radahn? Nah, I first try his ass every time. Nah, Scadutree Avatar? Now we're talking hard bosses. There we go. All right, phase 3. No heals left. All right, we might die here. We did not. That means we win the fight. Love that. Way too close. Way too close. The depths of your foolishness. Enough. I have endured more than enough. One of the best cutscenes in the game. Oh yeah, we're using the Starline sword, by the way. I did not mention that. I forgot to change my talismans, but that's okay. Who cares? Now this guy obviously does resist magic because he is an enemy in Elden Ring. So naturally that will be the case. But it's pretty cool. I'll use it anyway. I wanted to use it one more time and there's not a lot of great options left. Oh, this guy can bleed? Neat. Ooh, that's rough. Not a one-shot, by the way. Not a one-shot, by the way. NPC fights a one-shot, though. Who would do more damage? Getting impaled from head to ass by Midra, Lord of Frenzied Flame, or hit with a ball of magic from random who cares NPC? Cast your votes. Awesome weapon. I love the weapon. Yeah, I do. Quick work out of Midra there. So I think this time I want to end on Consort Radahn. So we're going to go ahead and do the penultimate final boss, Elden Beast, Radagon, and all that. And I want to use Moonveil. I want to just completely shit on someone's day. And I think it would be really good against Radagon specifically. Not necessarily Elden Beast, but let's see. I feel like I'll have a decent amount of like opportunity to use our little unsheath here. Boom. 1700 damage. 1900 damage. Another 1900. Get a big one right here. Ooh, he dodged it though. What a Chad. There we go. Jesus Christ. He was kicking my ass. All right, we're only going to have like one more use of our little ash here, so there we go. Use it while we can. Elden Beast has insane magic resistance, as does everything else, so it wasn't going to do a ton of damage. I just went ahead and used it against Radagon. Please don't fly up into the sky, it would make me very sad. Oh, man. There we go. Alrighty. And we're not going to do the ending right now, obviously, but I think I will just do the default ending. We'll do a special quirky ending next time. So I've decided, what kind of weapon should we take down Consort Radahn with, the final weapon of the run? I think, personally, that Malenia should get the last laugh. Not because the weapon's good. Quite the opposite. I guess it's not bad. Whatever. We'll get there. But I think Malenia deserves to have the last stab at Miquella in Radahn. Maybe we'll give Radahn some PTSD by seeing this weapon. Maybe we'll make Miquella feel bad by using this weapon. Who knows? Let's see if we can first try Consort Radahn. Damage is not great. That's okay. We do have 80 dex, and because we actually have an absurd amount of levels this run, I also have 80 vigor. So there's that. We do 1000 damage exactly on a jump R2. It's a pretty solid run so far. We used 1 heal in phase 1. Pretty good. We actually got away with that. Take that waterfowl, bitch. Damn, I got really sloppy. I totally had that attempt. I totally had that too, that sucks. Oh, damn! Oh, no! I totally threw that. Fuck! Not, like, first of all, we should have had both of those, so I don't say this as, like, an excuse or anything. Like, that, it is completely my fault. This weapon just does also suck, though. Just throwing that out there. Not saying that, like, it cost me the run or anything, but I will say, if I was using the Nagakiba, I would have, my recording would have been over by now. That's all I'm gonna say. Damn, I'm throwing. I don't know what's going on. You do not know how badly the Nagakiba is whispering into my ear. It's calling my name right now. I think I already made this reference in this episode, but I don't care. It is straight up like the Green Goblin mask. It's whispering to me in the corner. Because I have my little notepad beside me where I have all my weapons written down and what bosses I've killed. And I just see the word Nagakiba just, it's staring at me. It wants me. Whoops. Yeah, we might use the Nagakiba, gang. I don't know. I do mean this with 100% sincerity. I would take the default Twin Blade over this weapon. I really would. Infinitely more usable Ash, infinitely more usable. Not only did it do more damage, by the way, which is unbuffed. This is I have no Alexander Talisman on. I have like my defense ones on because it's Radahn. Infinitely more damage was dealt there with Unsheath. The starting Ash to this weapon, by the way, to any katana, it's so embarrassing. How could you do Malenia that dirty? Like the super boss of base game Elden Ring, you gave the worst one, or not the worst, but you know what I mean, like, shit. I'm not even using this like super optimally. What I should do is put like, what, like 12 points into int? So I can get like the cold version, so I can frostbite him if I wanted to. It'd be funny if we could poison this guy, so I could use my shit-ass poison katana. Wow, okay. Okay. There we go. That took infinitely longer than that should have. That's kind of depressing, to be honest. What is that, like 10 deaths? That's crazy. That's like 1/3 of the deaths of this entire run was to Consort Radahn. Kinda cringe. Well, it is that time. Everyone's favorite time where I get controversial and start ranking weapons that I'm not nearly qualified enough to start ranking. I have a general idea where the top and bottom is gonna be, but the middle is where I'm really trying to think where stuff's gonna be, but I'll make my list. I'll check it twice, you know, just like Santa, and I'll get back to you when that's done. Okay, sports fans, I'm gonna be completely real with you. This might be the new record for fastest list I have made thus far, which is kind of weird. Usually I'm kind of anxious, like, oh man, I'm sure I put these in the wrong spot, but I'm pretty confident in the placements that I've picked, which means it's probably the most incorrect list that I've made thus far, just because I'm pretty confident in it. But I think these are pretty ironclad. I don't think there's a lot of wiggle room here, but that could be just me. And we'll go ahead and skip straight to it because we all knew this was coming. If you have eyes or ears, you knew this was coming. We're gonna go ahead and put the Serpent Bone Blade on the worst spot, number 10 slot. It gets out damaged, it gets out statused, it gets out styled, it gets out moveset. Like, there's nothing this weapon does that literally any other weapon on this list could outperform. The one thing it had was its cool, unique, charged heavy attack, or just heavy attack in general. And then Sword of Night came along in the DLC and absolute bent this sword over and fucked it. So I don't, like, what do you want? You trade a bleed for a poison buildup, and that is just not a trade you ever want to take, especially with a katana. Bleed is the type of thing you want to proc once and then focus on something else. You know, with bleed, with how fast these weapons are, you want to just keep using it. But there's no point, because you only have to proc it once and then it's done. But then also not really, because it's such a short poison, you kind of do need to activate it over and over. And with the amount of damage that it does over time, you might as well you could have just killed the enemy. Like, there's no point. It is a pointless weapon. Just get like a poison pot item, and then throw poison pots at them until they're dead. Like, what do you want from this weapon? What use could this possibly have for you? I promise you that it's none. Don't use it. Just don't. And for number 9, we're gonna go ahead and have the Meteoric Ore Blade. This is just sad, man. Especially after seeing the Ore Greatsword, the Ultra Greatsword that I talked about earlier. What an embarrassment, man. You had the gall to be an intelligence scaling katana in the same game as Moonveil. That I should have just ended the segment right there and just moved on. Just not good. The one thing going for it is its gravity stuff, which I can't use because I'm not into right now. You know what it is. It's that big gravity pull. Other weapons do it and do it better. Since you're already scaling with intelligence, you could have just got like a gravity spell. Like what? Like there's gravity magic in the game and you're leveling the stat, you need to use it. Just get a staff and use gravity magic. Why are we trying to combine this with a weapon like it's something special? It's fine when it happens on the Colossal Swords that use it because there's like a follow-up to it. You bring enemies in and then smash like Radahn's weapons. This one, it's like, what's the use case here? It's kind of like the poison one in that regard. Like, what is the intended use of this? I have no clue. Again, it's an intelligent scaling katana. There is a million of those in this game, like almost half of them even. So it's already steep competition. It's pretty short. It's a somber scaling weapon, so there's no customizability. The R2 is kind of neat. It is very samurai. So if you want it for that, then it's fine. Look-wise, it gets outdone by pretty much every other katana, even the one below this one. Just not good. Don't use it. It's whatever. And for number 8, what might be the most disappointing weapon in this game, we're gonna go ahead and put Hand of Malenia. Wow, what a sad day to be a Malenia fan. They had the gall to not make this the longest katana in the game. What? Like, okay. Your R2 isn't the poke, which would have been the most slam dunk shit in the world. She has her giant ranged poke attack. Why isn't that a unique heavy where you charge forward for the poke? It's a boss weapon and what's basically the final boss of the game. The hardest boss of the game aside from DLC fights. Why not make this weapon overpowered? Who are you hurting? The game is over. You're done playing Elden Ring when you get this weapon. It's done. This is like post-game content. Why is this so shit? But oh, you do Waterfell and it does okay damage. It's fine, I guess. I hope you like being stuck in an animation for 400 years while you use it though. God forbid if you fight an NPC that's just gonna spam dodge roll away while you use it, or a boss that's just gonna look at you, laugh, and then smack you out of your combo because of course they are. Like, come on. My tap heavies on the Nagakiba were doing twice as much damage as this weapon's Ash fighting Consort Radahn. Like, what are we doing, man? Super heavy requirement in terms of your dex to even use it, which, I mean, to be fair, it's going to be high because it's like the most end game weapon you can get in the base game. It's just, this is Malenia's weapon, you know? Why did we completely ruin it? Like, it looks cool, I guess. Like, I don't know. Just use the Nagakiba. There's no reason to use this weapon over it. There's not a single one. Not one reason. Now, from this point onward, I would say these are pretty universally good weapons and you can't really go wrong. The bottom 3 I would just not use. It's just not worth it. The rest of the 7 are pretty good. And for number 7, we're going to give it to the OG Uchigatana. It's pretty average to above average in length. It starts with Unsheath. What do I need to say more? Is it gonna outdo a lot of these other katanas? No, it's not supposed to. It's your starting one. But I would say this is probably, unless I'm forgetting something obvious, the best starting weapon in the game. This one can absolutely take you to the final boss if you really wanted it to. It's a katana, so it just inherently just kind of looks neat. Again, Unsheath in the game, that Unsheath is insane in. I say that like Unsheath is like a mainstay in the Souls games. I could not tell you. It only gets better with the DLC, with the extra talisman, being Rellana's talisman that helps it. Great with Alexander's. It does about the same damage as you would like a charged R2, but you whip it out like that. So, I mean, come on. It's just so free. That's always the best? I ran about this a lot. I'll keep it short. Why is it that the best shit in this game is just the super quick ones? You know, like when you're using magic, it's infinitely better just to use the smaller like glintstone spells over like the big cosmic beam ones, because they look flashy and they're cool, but like it's just so much more efficient just to use the basic shit. Yeah, it does less damage, but like it's just so much more usable. The casting speed is infinitely faster, FP management's better. It's the same thing with these, like square off, unsheath, like all these super fast ashes just run circles around the more flashy stuff, like Waterfell on Hand of Malenia. Decent bleed buildup, pretty good scaling. This has, you know, better scaling than Malenia's sword, so there's that. Starter weapon, by the way. And also, you can get another one basically off rip in the first, like, 10 minutes of the game. It's like in the first catacombs, so you can just dual wield these bad boys and just bleed everything to death. Fuck it. Infuse them with bleed. Make them even better. Who cares? We're using katanas today. We don't care. And for number 6, we're going to grab the Dragon Scale Blade. Now, this weapon kind of surprised me the more I looked into it. This weapon kind of has the opposite use case that you think it would. This weapon is not a Dragon Slayer. It might tell you that it is, especially, you know, with its increased damage towards dragon enemies. But here's the thing about that. This is primarily a slash weapon. It doesn't have the poke for the pierce damage for its heavy attack. It does slash. Pretty much every dragon in the game, maybe there's one I'm not really thinking of, but all the ones I know of, they just hard resist slash. That's the worst damage type you could be using to kill a dragon. Pretty much everything besides your charge, like your running heavies, is slash. So really, what that bonus is doing is just undoing the slash resistance that this weapon would normally have. So you're kind of just back at square one at that point. So is it going to be better than the other katanas? I mean, yeah, but not as good as like a thrusting sword of any kind, or like a strike weapon of any kind. And while its ash is super cool, it just can't really compete with unsheath. And don't get me wrong, this is like my favorite kind of ash, like the free weapon buff. And this is like lightning ice. Like that's just awesome. I love that. I love how it's both, which means pretty much anything you hit is going to take damage to one of the two of them. It's not one of those where it's like jack of all trades and master of none. It just does genuinely good lightning and frost damage. It's just, you got better options, if I'm being real. It's not the longest, which kind of sucks for something that's clearly designed to kill dragons, but as previously stated, it's not really the best of that either. In fact, I would say that other katanas, particularly 1 or 2, are better at killing dragons purely because length of weapon is an issue. Like with Bale, it's really hard to get hits in on Bale. You saw it during that fight. I was just straight up rubbing against his leg and swinging and missing just because hitboxes. And sadly, you kind of have to take that kind of thing into account. Granted, this does have bleed buildup, which is nice. It's always cool seeing a katana with bleed buildup, which is almost all of them. But realistically, I just can't really put it any higher than this. Like, it's cool. I think it's neat, but it's eh. All right, and then for number 5, the true middle of the pack weapon, we're gonna put the Sword of Night. This bad boy is long, and I like that. It's clearly not Hand of Malenia or Nagakiba long, but it's definitely bigger than average. I do really like its ash. Charged ashes are always cool, and I can't use it because I'm at FP at the moment, but it's very effective. I didn't even use it this run, but of course, there's gonna be that talisman that enhances charged ashes and charged attacks and the whatnot. It does just a teeny bit of magic damage to where it just feels like a bonus, and it doesn't feel like it's cutting into its normal damage all that much. It goes through shields and can do that bonus damage. And I should mention that it does do that bonus magic damage, but it doesn't require int, which is really cool. It's just a pure dex weapon. The biggest setback is that it's not great scaling. This thing's a +9 and it's a B dex. That's just not what you want to see. Again, with katanas, especially ones that aren't infusible, you gotta be an A scaling, man. Like, I can't get past that. You're working with pretty subpar base damage since it is a katana anyway, with your base damage anyway. So you're just getting out DPS'd by other things when your dex is that low. It just makes it so your end game isn't gonna be as strong, which sucks because you get this in end game. Not only is it in the DLC, it's late in the DLC since you have to do the entire stuff with Metyr in that whole quest. That being said, having bleed build up on a weapon Ash that hits that many times. It has the double slash. It will get you places, and I think it is very fun, actually. I really enjoy using this weapon. I just can't in whole heart tell you that it's gonna outdo the next 5 weapons. You know, I just can't do that. I feel like this might be a little controversial, but I truly stand by it. For number 4, we're gonna go ahead and give it to Moonveil. This weapon haunts the nightmares of players. I understand that. I just think the DLC added a better Moonveil. Granted, this one is slightly longer than the obvious, what I'm talking about, Starline Sword. It definitely has that really good unsheath style, but it does that bonus little beam of damage, either light or heavy. Very good. It is an intelligent scaling, so go ahead and pair it with whatever you want. This honestly goes great with Starline Sword. Just dual wielding the two, like, why not? I just think this weapon is very basic. It almost feels like the default katana, even though that's, you know, clearly the Uchi katana. It's very bland and not that fun to use. Like, the damage is fun in the way that just fucking something is fun in this game. It's doing 1 billion damage. I just feel like there's better stuff out there, and most of the damage is magic damage. As you can see here, I can't even wield it, but 213 magic versus your 178 physical, you're going to be doing big magic damage, and that's just not a good thing in this game. It's just not, okay? It just really isn't. It truly is not. Its scaling's pretty good, being a BB. Normally a B is low, but with 2 Bs, that's fine. But anything in the DLC is just gonna wall this. There's not a single boss weak to magic in the entire DLC, and I can't overlook that when most of your damage is coming from there. And neither are the late game bosses in base game. It's just not gonna be doing damage. I mean, you saw how much I was doing against Elden Beast. I mean, come on. Like, I can't in good conscience put this any higher than 4. Is it great? Yes, absolutely. I'm not saying it's not great. I just think there's 3 that's better. It's a classic, but I just think it gets outdone. You know what also is a classic, but also pretty much lives up to the hype? Rivers of Blood. This thing I was very surprised by. First of all, it looks awesome, like way cooler than Moonveil if you ask me. But what I find interesting here is it performed extremely well. And for some reason I can use that Ash even though I can't wield this weapon, which is kind of odd. But the amount of hits you get during that, the fact that it can hit twice because you're physically hitting with your sword as well for double damage, it's crazy. I mean, it's a very expensive Ash, but who cares? Just crank that arcane stat, do infinite bleed buildup. I mean, come on. Either pair this with like a blood-infused Nagakiba, or just New Game Plus and get 2 of these bad boys. It's just a fun weapon. Like, I don't care about how meta it was. I really don't. I just personally think it's a fun weapon. Granted, I did not abuse this when it was good, and I was not abused by this when it was good. I just think it's cool. It's a satisfying weapon to use. It's an effective weapon to use. Good bleed damage on a katana. Duh. I mean, come on. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just an extremely solid weapon. The only thing I can really knock it on is its scaling isn't the best. It's like a BD, but also, because of the bleed buildup, you still want to level Arcane. I was like 50 Dex, 50 Arcane, and per level, when I was leveling, I would get like +3 to my AR on Dex and Arcane, even though Arcane's a D. Like, it just doesn't matter. And because it scales with Arcane, your bleed buildup, which is this number right here, this is 30, I don't know if you can see my mouse very well, but this 30 will increase. But that only increases if something scales with Arcane. So granted, your other weapons that are infusible can as well, but this is the only way you can increase the bleed buildup. So you can get into stupid situations like I was, where I was getting a bleed proc every 3 hits. Like, good God. And then pair that with, you know, Lord of Blood Exaltation, yada yada yada, whatever. All your bleed stuff that is obvious that you'd put onto a bleed weapon, use it here. It works well. I guess the only other con is you kind of gotta wait a while. It's like one of the last, if not the last, or I guess Malenia's would be the last, but basically the second to last katana you would get in the base game. And you can even do like the quest line to go to Mohg's Palace to get it early because it's in Snowfield and not Mohg's Palace. So, you know, you gotta wait a minute. But I think a very rewarding weapon is at the end of that. I almost feel weird putting it this high, because on one hand, people expect it to be high because it's like the infamous weapon, but on the other hand, I keep hearing this thing was nerfed into the ground, but it just still worked for me. I don't know what to tell you. Should I have used it against more bosses to test? I guess, but it's Rivers of Blood. It's just neat, man. And for number 2, we're gonna go ahead and put the best, in my opinion, magic katana in the game, Star-Lined Sword. I think it is without a doubt the coolest looking katana in the entire game. One of the best looking weapons in general in the entire game. I mean, come on with that. Are you kidding me? Now, I believe this is slightly smaller than Moonveil, but only by a little bit, but it has an infinitely cooler skill that is super chainable. You don't have to use the whole thing if you don't want to. You can stop halfway, or you can do the full thing. It hits a lot of times, I believe 6 times, which leads to a lot of cool bleed buildup. It does do split physical and magic damage, which is kind of the only thing holding this weapon back for me, even though it's number 2. Like, it's just that good. It's just the de facto magic katana, right? Like, it just is. Really, at the end of the day, the Ash is kind of what carries this weapon. So if you're not really like a big Ash spammer, I suppose you could get more use out of something like Rivers of Blood, where I think that bleed buildup really does carry that weapon a lot, even in its normal R1s. I don't know, I just kept seeing success with this thing, even off camera, where I'm just off grinding those poor innocent Albinarics in the grind spot. It's just so usable, you know? And again, as I said with Moonveil, just pair it with Moonveil. This thing works great. I did a whole playthrough like that, where I dual wielded these two. Like, this just works. And then you can have whatever your favorite is as the Ash. Do you want Unsheath as your Ash? Okay, then throw on Moonveil for the Unsheath. Do you want this big combo? Then switch it to this. I think this weapon's lesser damage by happenstance of not having a stance-based skill is kind of just offset by it hitting so many times to just get your bleed proc up. It has great range with that Ash. I know I can't use it because I'm not magic right now, but you saw it in the video. It hits pretty dang far. I really enjoy this weapon. I think in terms of using it, this is probably my favorite katana in the game. I'll just be straight up. I think it, for me personally, it's more fun than number 1, but I just think number 1 is clearly just, I mean, come on. And welcome to your obvious shoo-in number 1 pick. Surprising nobody. Nagakiba. Woohoo. It's, I can't even fit the whole sword in frame for my character to stand. It is that stupidly long. It is twice as long as other katanas. Why? It has its poke heavy, which the length and thrust damage combo already makes it the best. I'm not even kidding. That alone makes this by far the best katana. Diverse damage types is the most important thing in these games, and I say that every time, but I don't think people talk about it enough. Not being shackled to a single type of dealing damage is so important. It is so understated, and I cannot stress enough how important it is that it can do this. What was I doing against Consort Radahn? When I was using Malenia's weapon, obviously it's going to be worse because it just does worse damage, but I was having to use slash attacks, which he hard counters. I wasn't even doing visible amounts of damage unless I had the combo built up with, you know, like Melena's talisman and all that. I didn't even have the little white on his health bar go down. It was just chipping away. But when I could use this, I would just do a tap heavy and it would do over 1,000 damage. Just because it's pierce damage, which you can't normally get. It's so important. I cannot stress that enough. Diverse weapon types, use them. That's what I love about greatswords, is it does that slash damage, which is reliable and is great for clearing rooms, but when you're rolling attacks, do that poke, which is so important during boss fights, because there are a lot of bosses are armored enemies. Aside from that, what the fuck do you want me to say, man? It's like an ace scaling dex bleed weapon. Like, what the fuck? It has access to Unsheath, which I mean, you know, it's Unsheath. Insane poise damage, great with Alexander's talisman, great with Rellana's talisman. You can get it straight out, like right out the gate if you decide to kill that one NPC, or if not, you just get it at mountaintops. Or if you do his entire quest line, you can just get it in the capital city where he's dead and you can pick up the weapon. And it has a unique, or not unique ash, but it has an ash on it, which does all thrust damage. It's what Malenia's heavy attacks should just be by default. It's a pierce that jumps forward. I can see a good use case over Unsheath. I think that Ash is that good. But I think with the DLC in mind, with Rellana's Talisman, I do think that Unsheath is the better pick. Another thing that makes this the best is it is like one of the 2 entire weapons in this whole category that are infusible. So you could make this whatever you want. Make this a cold infusion, pff, you're done. Make this cold and it's over. You get bleed buildup and frost. And fuck it, since it's one of these weapons, you can just buff it yourself. Throw on a not a pine resin, but you know, the equivalent in this game. Buff it with a spell like I did, how I was using my Uchi Katanas, where I had the freezing blade spell. Fuck it, put that on there. You want blood flame? Throw blood flame on here. If you're doing a holy build, it's so versatile. And it being this long and having this good scaling and having this good of a heavy attack, I mean, come on. There was no other choice for number 1. From the moment I started this run, I knew what was going to be number 1. Or at least I had a strong feeling of what would be number 1. It's just got to be the Nagakiba, man. There's just nothing else to it. And with that said, we can go ahead and get Marika's bitch ass out of here and become the new Elden Lord. No special ending this time. I'll get a different one next time, but I just feel like the default ending just kind of works.
Upon us and recall an age of fracture.
And that is Elden Ring once again. We got 3 runs under our belt now. Went ahead and did colossal swords, twin blades, and katanas. I'll try to do a more strength-oriented build next time. And then I kind of want to try magic. I think I want to try using every magic school in one run, or I guess every spell in a school. So like all glintstone sorceries and then all gravity sorceries and whatnot. I think that would definitely fall under the challenge run and not necessarily themed run that I do now, just because I do think sorceries are kind of weak in a lot of areas anyway. So yeah, that's katanas. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really get it. Like, I kind of get it and I don't. Are they cool? If you're into like Japanese culture and katanas in general, I mean, yeah. I'm just not a huge like samurai genre enjoyer, I guess, to where like the inherent coolness can't really bring me in. I am much more bias towards like great swords and more like Western weaponry, I guess. I prefer doing like more brutish attacks like that. And while you do get access to Unsheath, which is great for breaking poise, I feel like great swords just kind of do that naturally, and they don't have to rely on like a crutch ash just being completely busted and never patched. Yeah, apologies. I already know this video is going to take forever to come out. My last one's been up for like over a week already. I've just been kind of stressed out. Haven't been hunkered down like I should. And also, I do want to apologize. I know my newer stuff hasn't been received as well as some of my older stuff. I've been trying to work on just like myself on being funnier, I guess. Not that I'm like super numbers motivated, but like it is hard to ignore that, you know, as a human being. Like I see I lose like maybe like 2-ish subscribers like every week, and then when I upload I get like a good like 10 subs maybe. So like I am still growing, but it does kind of hurt a little bit to see people leave. Kind of feels like I've failed in that regard, but I don't know. I did start this for my own sake. I didn't think anyone was gonna watch. I thought this would just go into the void of YouTube and it would have one view on every video, and it's just me watching it because I like what I do. Next time, I'll be back with some Dark Souls 3 though. I like to alternate between the two. I still have no idea what I'm gonna do for that game, because I was gonna do katanas for that game, but I decided to do it on this one. I don't know, maybe like hammers or something. We might get a little silly with it. I don't really want to repeat weapon classes we've already covered in other games quite yet, so I won't do like ultra great swords or, you know, katanas right away. Yeah, that is it from me. I'll still be here no matter if I go back to 0 subscribers. I don't care, I'll still be here. And yeah, thank you for watching. It truly does mean the world to me that people like to sit here and listen to me yap. Thank you for watching this far. If you have, these are some long ass videos, so I appreciate you staying till all the way here. If you didn't make it this far, I hope that you feel my good vibes headed towards your way, even if you clicked on for just a second then clicked off. You know, classic misclick, or YouTube auto played this video somehow and you didn't even mean to watch it. Thanks for just that even little bit of time you spent giving me a chance. That's all I can really ask for. And yeah, take care everyone. See you next time.